Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today it is the 26th of April 2023, 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon here in the UK. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator and we're in the recently released, let me get this right, Asobo Hans Hartmann ATR 72 version. We're in there, ATR 72 version. It's part of their new sort of expert series aircraft, they're calling it, so we'll see how highly modelled and well modelled it is. I've done a couple of test sectors. It's actually a little better than I was expecting it to be. We are over here for the first of a time in the French Polynesian islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We are in the on the island of Tahiti, the capital. We're going to be flying to Bora Bora, 2 sectors today, flight time each way of 45 minutes. We're live weather. I've just put the time back by 1 hour. The reason is it was completely dark and we want to enjoy this stunning scenery. The scenery here is part of the Sim World Update 13, Microsoft Flight Simulator scenery update. So I wanted to enjoy that scenery. So they've just brought the clocks forward an hour. So it's not 15:04 Zulu in the sim. It's 14:04 Zulu. That's it. We are going to be offline today. It's the first ever time flying this aircraft. I was thinking about streaming it yesterday. I did purchase the aircraft, but I'm not a fan of just buying an aircraft, streaming it straight away. You seeing me fumble around, not knowing what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I can at least get it safely from A to B. I've still got loads to learn about this aircraft. This aircraft came with absolutely no documentation, so I found this online. It's actually from a company called Flight One. I think they made an ATR checklist back for FSX in those days, and I also found an ATR normal procedures checklist as well. So sort of following both those. There's also sort of like an incorporated checklist within the ECAM as well. But yes, we should have some fun today. Who's here in chat then? Marak, hello. He says, hello, Captain. I hope you're doing very well. Tibwood says, yes, today will be so different. What's different? I don't know. Listen to it. I've done this sector during a layover on my Fearless 742 World Tour last year. Nice memories, very, very cool. Yes, and we're going to be following real world flights today. We're flying as Air Tahiti, Victor Tango Alpha 01 in their ATR 72. I'm going to keep forgetting it. 72 -600, I think it's called. But yes, real world routes, as I said, 45 minutes each way. An RNAV approach and an ILS approach as well there. David Hamilton, thanks for the 2 months as a member. He goes, let's go propeller busing. Yes, it is very much like an Airbus in here. Not sure, not much Boeing here. We'll talk about the flight model and things like that one, I think, later on anyway. Matt Lou4 says that he's been here before. That's awesome. Very, very jealous. Edo's here as well. Hope you're doing well. Peter Green, looking forward to effectively being type rated on the ATR after this stream. Yeah, you might be more type rated on a Boeing aircraft than an ATR, even after flying this aircraft, but I hope you're doing well, buddy. Judah, thank you. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, what is it? I mean, I got it on a discount because I've got the full Microsoft Flight Sim package, so it actually cost me, I think it was like 10 quid, £10.74, I think. So even then, without that discount, it's like £14, £15, which I think for the level of modelling is a very, very reasonable price indeed. ATR is Airbus with props, so that makes pretty good sense there. Ed, we'll be flying Kilimanjaro today. Ha ha ha. Thanks for subscribing as well. ATR pilot. Are you a real ATR pilot? We could have loads of tips today. That would be great. Again, don't expect miracles. This is just an introduction, sort of as it would be if you were to buy the aircraft for the first time, but I'll be following as realistically as possible accurate world procedures anyway. But here is the aircraft. Here's the external model. As I said, I'm live time, so it's a little bit dark here on the apron in Tahiti before we fly over to Bora Bora, but the external model is absolutely stunning. I love the Air Tahiti livery as well, but looking all the way around here, you can see it's completely cold and dark. I've got the generator attached, that's all. Yes, I won't be doing this hotel start business. I tried to do that, where you start an engine with the brake on, because it doesn't have an APU, so I'll imagine we've got air clearance to start the engines on stand, and then for perhaps the next stream we'll look at a fancy start procedures, so I've got no guidance or checklist at all. Anyway, let's jump on in the aircraft now. Interestingly, when the pilots got in the morning, did they jump in through this sort of large cargo hold, or did they have to go in through the back? I really don't know, but there's a little bit of an interior modelled, but there we are. We've zoomed on into the flight deck, and let's jump on in there. There we go. Let me just turn the music down here as well, so it's very quiet here in the background. Cool, look at it. It's going to be absolutely stunning. The scenery of these SimWorld updates, absolutely stunning. It was a massive download, though, to get it installed, like 20-odd gig, but it's looking really, really nice. So I did a couple of test sectors there. Pilot's board from the back. That makes sense then, Marek. Very good. Alex, it's good that there's an ATR pilot in the chat. I hope he's going to help us today. He's going to be cringing as he watches me set up this aircraft and doing everything incorrectly. Have you seen some Binter ATRs? Loads, Marek. I've seen loads of Binter. So when we fly to Tenerife, where I think they have a major base there, I always notice when they push back, they always power back. They start the engines and power back off stand. They never get pushed, so they start engines on stand. So we'll be doing a bit of that today. I of course have yoke cams set up, thanks to one of the members for sending a PDF document regarding how to set up the throttle quadrant, not included with the documentation. I had already seen it, so I think I've got it set up with little notch detents. Need to set notch for takeoff and climb, and there's no sort of RPM levers in this thing. As you said, it's a bit of an Airbusy sort of style aircraft. Craig, every time I've dispatched one, the pilot always jumps out the front cargo hold whenever they're doing their walk around. Saves you having to walk all the way to the back, doesn't it? Hope you're doing well. Andy Tuss says, afternoon everyone. Thank you very much for popping in as well. Edo says, sorry, yeah, no problem. I like the banter. Stefan Powell, thank you very much for the £2 as well. He says, hi, Captain, back as a member after my card was cloned. Oh, no, Stephen. I hope you got your money back, or if you had your card cloned and had any money taken, I hope you get it back as well. That happened to me about 7 or 8 years ago, and actually the bank were pretty good because I just purchased petrol, and then I got a phone call from Barclays, so the banks are available, saying, oh, hello, Mr. Flight Data Sim. I wasn't the Flight Data Sim at that time. They said, have you just purchased petrol? And I was like, yes. And they said, you haven't also purchased a £500 pedal bike? And I was like, no. I was like, yes, someone's just purchased a £500 pedal bike at the same time you are buying fuel at the other side of the country. So obviously it flags up on their system when something does that. They immediately halted that, got a full refund, and they sent out a new card, had it next week. So I hope you get it all sorted anyway. Thank you very much for your donation there. Right, so like I said, we're completely cold and dark. Let's get some power on the aircraft first. So up here, there's the battery switch. There we are, batteries on. I'll put the guard down. Now there's two external powers. We've got this DC, which seems to turn everything on and off, and then there's this AC
50,
wild
40,
power, which
30,
oh my goodness me, I
20,
really don't know the difference
10.
between the two, but we've got some power. It would seem now. Thank you very much, as I said, Stefan, for your £2.
Hi Captain BK as a member after my card was cloned.
I heard, yes, thank you very much, buddy, and I hope you get it all sorted, and welcome back, as I said, as a member supporting the channel there. Right, so we've got some external power connected. Loading wise, it's fully incorporated into the Microsoft Flight Simulator's default payload, so you can't really choose how many passengers. What I did, I sort of worked backwards through SimBrief. I chose sort of like 75% capacity with some cargo the way to the pilot, so let's say we're 3/4 full, and that's giving me a zero fuel weight of 19.4 tons there. So the fuel's already uploaded for the sector. We're taking minimum standard fuel. Comparing to the SimBrief default flight plan, it seems to be burning this amount of fuel, which is great, but we'll have a look at that later. So it's not an Airbus like everything, it's 400 hertz. Okay. Wild power equals non-frequency tied power bus. It's whatever frequency which is on the bus. Oh my goodness me. You do hear Jack, you do hear Jack. Ian Chilvers, thanks to 29 months. Wild power doesn't have a set frequency. I've learned something new every day, so it's not fixed at 400 hertz. It varies. Right, interesting. Why would they have to do everything different? Playing the French. Right, so we've got all these different pages here. What I really like that's modelled is that if you go to options here, you've got this little click spot area. So they've incorporated click spots onto the screen, whether that's just for the model or if that's how the real aircraft works. I don't know if they're touchscreen or not. I'm guessing they are with these little buttons here. You can click here, but you can click different areas to get to different systems, which is really, really cool. So we're going to have the ND map on here most of the time. Does it have weight and settings in EFB? Yes, but only graphical. You know, you can't actually physically change anything here on this payload page. These are pre-filled when you you put the information in the FMC, but it pre-fills this for you. Moriland Sim Pilot, thank you very much for the 27 months. Hello Sam, I hope you're well. Not had time to sim recently. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you very much though for your 27 months as a member. I hope you get back into it soon, because there's so many awesome aircraft like this coming out at the moment, so you can go from there. Joseph Roy, unless they fixed it, what was that referring to? ATR Pilot, so with the start you turn the batteries on, then wait until the system to boot up, get 3 clicks, then you turn on external power. So my first step, I've already made a mistake. Thank you very much. ATR Pilot will be keeping an eye out in chat for all of your help there. It's the Alpha Peugeot planes, everything is just a bit odd and subject to braking, right? All noted, but it's a very nice flight deck in here. So as I said, I'm following this PDF checklist here. I've got a couple. I've got this one here, which is based off the old flight one. It's a different ATR. It's the old school steam gauge one, but there's also this one I found online as well. If you'd like these, put it in the comment section below. But again, this is also based off an older version of the ATR, I think the 502. But it's something for me to follow to ensure I'm sort of roughly following an ATR checklist. So that's what I am following in the background there. Marie 145, thanks to 12 months. Made it to 12 months as a casual simmer. Been learning loads. Thanks for an excellent 12 months, Captain. You're most welcome, Marie 145. Look at your Captain Epaulets, 4 stripes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, buddy. Yes, David Hamilton, 737 driver, sets his weight to the MCD. Yes, that's exactly what you need to do. I was looking at some there's an excellent YouTube channel, by the way, if you scroll up in the comment section. Not only 737NG drivers, of course, but to fly with Magna is an ATR pilot who has some procedural videos from the real aircraft I followed as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. But yeah, the MCD is how you insert all those weights, which I already knew. Right, so we've got some power onto the aircraft. Exactly as the person said, actually, on the checklist: battery on, wait for system self-test to finish before applying ground power. Whoops. Cockpit lighting set, external lighting all off. Well, in fact, we can arm those. We'll put the seatbelt sign on. We'll put the nav lights on, as we now have external power connected. Condition levers, verify. Levers? Am I American? Confirm their fuel shut off, which they are. Gust lock is engaged. Flap levers set. Wipers are off. AC wild power's on. Master caution light push disable, which I've already done. Fuel quantity check. So we'll go over the routing later, but here's the operational flight plan. Fuel we need is 1628. So I've loaded 1700 kilos, which if you look down here you can see 850 aside. So we've got standard fuel here, just rounded up to the nearest 100 kilos. So the fueling is done. Fuel reset we'll do later. Annunciation lights test, which is up here. So check all the lights are on, illuminated. Looking down here. I am offline today, not on VATSIM for this sector. So that's looking good. Put that to bright. Bleed air off, avionics are set. Coming up next, turn on the engine fuel pump. So it's just like an Airbus. Look out for anything that's white. We have no electrical power on here. I'll turn the probe and window heat on after engine start. Put the oxygen on, and I think that's pretty much the rest. I can set here. I can turn on the hydraulic pumps. Whether they're electrically powered, I'm not 100% sure. Let's do the fault and fire test. So they're up here. Fault and fire. I also like the trim sounds. It sounds like Pac-Man, which I'll demonstrate shortly. So fault and fire test of the engine's complete. Here's the trim sound. It is Pac-Man. There you go. So nav and beacon are on by default, annoyingly. Yeah, I noticed that, Ian, when I was doing the test sector. Oh yeah, yes. So they actually want to come on. That's on. Yes, the beacon light is off, and put the logo light on as well. There we are. Yes, why the beacon light is on by default, it shouldn't be. He had Microsoft Flight Sim Freedom root units, unbelievable. I think the HR sits low on the ground and the Dash 8 has stubby landing gear. The Dash 8 has long landing gear attached to the wings. It does, Andrew, yes, the gear look is attached to the fuselage, whereas on the Dash 8 they're hanging from the gear, so they are, of course, much longer. So fault and fire test complete. There's various other tests in the detailed checklist as well. We've done the engine fire tests too. Centre right overhead panel is just the lighting. Now, ATR pilot, do we turn on the window and probe heat on at this stage? Block fuel 1628 is crazy. Excellent. Interesting. 737 NG driver had 69 degrees on your overhead, but you have only 25. Yes, that's, I guess, the temperature outside. Compartment, so I'm guessing the temperature in the cabin, and duct, temperature of the air, bleed air coming into the cabin. 25, what's the outside air temperature here in live weather? I should think it's 25 degrees, seeing all the windows are open. If so, it's correctly modelled. It's exactly 25 degrees in Tahiti, so there you go. Hi Captain, hope you're doing well. Ralph, thank you very much for coming in. Just seen ATR is 50% owned by Airbus, so that explains it. There you go. Thomas is talking about takeoff. Yeah, takeoff and the modes you want to select, I'm really not sure about, but I'm sort of happy with the profile following the checklist, what I need to do. But it's like, do I select toga or any other modes? Or I think I watched a couple of ATR takeoffs on YouTube, and they had like the flight directors all over the place during the takeoff, so I don't think they actually select anything here, which is a bit weird for us on the 7.3. Right, so electric lighting is all done. All the systems are sort of incorporated into the ECAM system, so you can press the buttons down here, or as I said, you can use the helpful click spots the developers model to flick through the system. So you can see there's the electrical system, the hydraulics. Oh, that's just hydraulic pressure there actually. Engines, secondary parameters. You can see the positions of the doors, the packs, the bleeds. Pretty good. I think for systems modelling, it's pretty decent. The flight model value. I've flown the Dash 8, and I love the Dash 8, the Fly JSim Dash 8 in X-Plane 12, and when you change power in that, there's a big change in lift, especially on final. This, it feels like you're flying a jet. Like, power doesn't seem to affect lift at all or anything like that, so we really need to get a real ATR pilot to try this out and say what it's like. But, you know, for Microsoft Flight Simulator, absolutely fine. Kazi, heading, LNAV, and indicated airspeed. Now, do you actually select IAS prior to takeoff? ATR pilot here. For takeoff, you want to put power to the notch. You'll need FMS, LNAV, and indicated airspeed. ATR pilot, thank you so much. I got the LNAV and I got the notch setting, so I've got it all set now. So I've got a D10 for notch, and it says notch there. So yeah, rate me out of 10 when we get airborne. Heading as well. Sorry, perfect. Oh, ATR pilot, please leave a comment after this video with any big mistakes I made, and if you can answer any questions people have, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for coming in, buddy. You should drop me an email. TCAS is all in here. We'll set that up later because we haven't got our clearance. Let's set up the MCP. So we'll set runway heading. So we're in Tahiti. Here's the airport. So we're going to take off from runway 04. Runway heading is 041. So set that to the heading bug here. 041. We'll set the courses to 041 as well, so you need to flick that to ILS. It has ILS here. We'll be flying an ILS back with our first approach. We're going to fly an RNAV approach, which actually VNAV on this did a really good job. So we'll set that and course number 2 to 041. Perfect. We'll put that back to FMS1. And let me just set up the ILS, I'll just tune up the ILS frequency here, so we've got something there. So 1099, I've been just using my radio tuning panel to do this, but you could of course use the buttons there. So 109 on box 1, and setting it on box 2 now, so 1099 on box 2. So the ILS is active. If we have to come back here in case of an emergency, it's all tuned, ready to go. So MCP is set, and just the stop altitude for the SID, which is 5,000 feet. There's no out arm like in the Dash 8. Is that the sun that's just rising? 5,000 feet. No, I think it would have been a shadow off. Well, maybe it's just coming through the cloud, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a stunning flight. As I said, I'm flying 1 hour behind live time at the moment. So imagine Jim's doing the exterior walk around. That's all completed. Instrument cross checks and tests now. So working our way down here. Anti-skid test. Hold that down. Don't know how long that takes. Here's the interactive checklist which we're going to use. And then this test for icing. Hold that down, and then there's this APM test which seems to go on testing loads of different systems. I don't know what APM is, I'm afraid, or FDAU. There we are, so we've done those tests. Perfect, that's all done. Now it's time to load up the flight management computer. So here's the SimBrief operational flight plan, and let me just show you where we are in the world if you are so curious. Let me just bring up Navigraph. So we've never flown in the middle of the Pacific, but there is United States, Brazil, New Zealand, Australia, we're right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There's the French Polynesian Islands from Tahiti to Bora Bora, which is one of the detailed airports there. So looking really, really nice. Weather on standby, thanks Kazi. I'll do that now. There you are, weather radar to standby. Let's load up the FMS, and again, this might not be the correct procedure. It's likely not to be the correct procedure. It's just the one I'm following in this checklist here, which is an ATR 72 500 checklist. So we'll select FMS. Just get into a slightly better view here. So we've got the latest system. Oh no, system data 2014 concerning. I'm guessing that's just the way it is there. Nav data, config data is okay. We're going to go to init, pos init. There's no IRS. We're just going to tell it our present position. So GPS position has been inserted. We'll go to return. We're going to go to flight plan init, route. You can save routes if you so wish. We're going to just enter it manually today. So we're going to be routing from Tahiti, November Tango Alpha Alpha / to Bora Bora, which is November Tango Tango Bravo. Oh, I put it in the wrong box, you fool. November Tango Alpha Alpha / November Tango Tango Bravo. That's better. Call sign today is Air Tahiti 01. Hazard to guess what the return sector is going to be. Tahiti 01. We'll put that in flight ID. We'll execute that. We'll select this. We'll be flying off runway 04. The departure is going to be a Vati 4 Echo. So next page. Vati 4 Echo. Execute. We'll then put our routing in, so we're going to route direct to Hotel November. It's the Southern Hemisphere, execute, and then after Hotel November, it's already the arrival. So I'm going to fly the Arnav 11 Zulu via the Ru 1 Bravo, and it will be via the Bambi transition, execute. Clear the discontinuity, execute, next page. So you'll notice here, look, Bravo, Bravo and Bambi, they're 0.1 miles away. Bambi, the RNAV waypoint's co-located with Bravo, Bravo, which is where the star terminates on our arrival. So all I'm going to do is clear the Bravo, Bravo and join route to Bambi. It's the exact same track and distance, it's just the RNAV point it's going to use. So there we are, the routing is all in and already executed. So that is all done. Next we need to do sort of the weights. So we'll go to menu, FMS, init, weight. There we are. So fuel on board. Let's have a look at the fuel on board, which is, need to find the page. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to find the click spots as well. That's performance map. Nav, which one is it? There it is. 840 aside, so that's going to be 1680. So 1680 on the fuel. We have 1700, so that's fine. So fuel on board 1680. And zero fuel weight, as I said, you have to use the default sort of weight profile. I know what it is, but I'm sort of working backwards off this. This is the only way I can find the zero fuel weight. So you take your total weight, 21,055, just subtract the fuel, 1729, and that's a zero fuel weight of 19.4, which is what I'm predicting on the operational flight plan. 19.4, it's actually 19,326, so we'll put that in now. 19,326. There we are. Fuel on board 1680. That's generated our gross weight of 21 tons. There we are. Takeoff trim and CG is set. And if you go over here to performance, you'll see, look, it's now put that information in. And if you press the set button, which I've done, it sets your trim for you. So you can see down here, there you are, up 0.9. So that's done. And performance, it's got a performance calculator, which is pretty cool, so you can say what you want. Dry, wet, reverser, no reverser. Is that for landing? Must be for takeoff, but takeoff and landing data. So yeah, for takeoff I think it's just a simple calculator. But so you can see these speeds. What you need to do is get them into the FMC. So it took me a while to work this out. You have a page here. If you're unsure what page it is, go to options, click spot help. We want the performance page. We need to click the ND about here. No, there it is. Let's just click that. So you can press this button to reset the fuel used. and check the speeds, 109, 109, 113. I think you can then select normal icing, different climb speeds, but press confirm takeoff data. See, there's no speed set here. Press confirm takeoff data. There you go, look, you can see now it says 109, V1 is now set. So make sure you do that to ensure that you have the correct speeds on the PFD. Right, so that's all done. Takeoff data confirmed. I think we're all right. Oh, yeah, we've got some cruise and other information to put in here. I think the speeds too. So init, revs and menu, FMS, init. Where is it? Flight plan initialization? No. Remember, I'm new to this aircraft, so bear with me. Perfect, there we are. So cruising, our cruise altitude on this first sector is flight level 160. We'll leave the rest as it is. Alternate cruise altitude I won't put in. Right, have I missed anything, ATR pilots? I think FMC wise I'm okay. We'll go back to the ND there. Let's have a look here in chat. Will future ATR pilots suddenly start to confusedly tap the ND at various points, expecting the change screen? Probably. People are talking about snooker. Very good. MCDU kind of has Airbus-wise, very much does so. Start with weight, says Kazi. Got that in. Perfect. 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 Kazi's doing great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. Now it says set up the ASI bug to V2 plus 1. I'm going to leave it set to 135 knots because that's what I want to initially accelerate to. We'll set the squawk. So to get to the radar, you can either have it on here, or you can press RMS transponder. We'll just set 2000 on, or you can select it on here too. You can have, I think you press here. Where is it? Miscellaneous? No, we'll have a little play of it later, but they're quite short flights. But there's a button on here which allows you to select different procedure menu. As for the checklist, which will follow shortly, you can turn on like the camera. It's got this. Is it VGS or what it's called? There's a little camera here. I don't think it's modelled, but it allows you to see through the clouds, which is pretty cool. But it is modelled here. You can have terrain and weather radar options as well. Bad pilots had listed it. Unbelievable. How we normally set it up differently, but you're doing great. Cheers, ATR pilots. Yeah, I've no doubt you set it up very, very differently. Right, I think we're good to go. Next thing in the checklist is the engine start, guys. So we'll talk a little bit about the taxi routing and the SID. So we're going to start the engines. We're going to sort of reverse taxi via Sierra. We're going to do an intersection departure, just right turn straight off of 04. It's more than long enough, this runway. And the SID is the Tahiti 4 Echo. So initial climb is 5,000 feet, which I have set on the MCP. And it's to climb straight ahead to track 04 on runway track to 500 feet. Once we're at 500 feet, left turn direct to Alpha Alpha 503, which is here. Then a right turn to Vate, or Vati, however it's pronounced. So if we go to here to flight plan, you can see 500 feet conditional waypoint, Alpha Alpha 503, track 323, which isn't on there, then 309 to Vati. So it looks like it's all coded correctly. Right, now let's start the engine. So I'm not going to try this hotel start. So this hotel start, guys, basically the aircraft doesn't have an APU. They start an engine with a propeller brake on, then they switch on the power from that engine, then the ground crew disconnect the external power, then they start the engine by releasing the propeller brake, and then we'll go from there. But we'll start the engines, keep the electrical power connected until then, and then disconnect the ground power, and then reverse out of there, and then perhaps another time we'll try this hotel. It's called hotel setup here, because I had a try earlier and I followed the checklist, but things were clicking all over the place. Right, just before we go, we have an interactive checklist. So again, there's more click spots, up, down, and enter. So validate is that button there. So parking brakes set, altimeters are set as well. So I'll push B. I think it's 1012. There we are. So altimeters are set. Landing elevation, we'll leave it in FMS, so it will find the information for us. FMS common nav data set. Fuel quantity we've checked. Engine fuel used we did reset. Memo panel check. Power management to take off. So this is really fancy, guys. You leave the thrust or power levers in this little notch here, in the white notch, and then you switch this, and it'll automatically reduce RPM for you, and all these sort of things. It's a really sort of easier workload than it is in the Dash 8, I found. So that's set. Before propeller rotation, what is CDLS? What is is it? I'm trying to find out. I just can't find it. Well, imagine it's on. FMS and takeoff data confirmed. Trims are all set. 0.9. Rudder and air trim is neutral. Tail prop on board. Doors closed. So let's do that now. Closed. Payload. Where is it? Aircraft. So closing the doors. Removing the chocks. There we are. Well, they closed very, very quickly. So that's done. Back towards the checklist. Seat belts on, beacon now coming on. Imagine we've got start clearance, so beacon on. Procedure complete. Next is before taxi. So that's the next checklist. We'll open it up. Then hopefully, cockpit door lock. Is that what it stands for? Oh right. I was looking for some fancy. I thought it was some fancy electronic system. Right, I'll lock the cockpit door. Is that down here? What is also ATPCS? I don't know. Ground control. Well, I'll leave that off. I can't even find the flight deck door lock. I'm sure it's locked. There's various systems here. Seeing it's covered by a glass door, it's all backed up. I don't know what that is. Oh. Document door. Caution, close and latch before takeoff. Was that for, like, passing paperwork through? I guess so. Oh, how cool. Well, can't you not open the windows? Actually, it doesn't look like you can. Yes, I don't know. Well, that's very cool. So it's literally as it is. It's behind the FO's chair. What is... Was it that? It was a very old school looking crash axe there. And this is looking very cool. Look at, you know, systems modelling and way things looking here. It is looking like loads of modelled. Lauren, yes, exactly, with passing paperwork. Ah. No, it's above the... No, so it's not behind it, it's above the throttles. Ah, thank you. So open, close, deny, close. Perfect, thank you very much. Right, let me attempt to start the engines. So going up here on the overhead panel, engine beacons on, parking brakes set, engine start, rotary knob start, A or B. So let's go to start A. Start, push and verify on light illuminated. So you simply push this between 10% and 19% NH, which is here. FTR lever to condition lever to FTR, and then verify 40% NH and light extinguishers, and then condition lever 2 to auto. Okay, let's try it. Wish me luck, guys. Start. So we've got NH between 10 and 19% we're waiting for. So there's 10. Fuel coming on. APU bleed 1. Is that meant to be off? I'll turn it off and I'll remember to do it after start there. Now what am I waiting for? After 45% N2, oops, a bit slow here, fuel to auto. So you just moved the lever twice, checking parameters, I guess, on the way. It's Yago. Will Joss Games any good? Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. I've enjoyed the 2 test sectors I did. If I hadn't done the test sectors, we'd still be fumbling around here. What is also FWS to RCL? Bleeds off at this point. Thanks, ATR pilot. Well, that looks like a good engine start. These parameters are on the green. We have oil pressure in the green. Temperature's good. And then turbine temperature is the same here, isn't it? Alright, well, let's do the same for engine number 1. Start. So waiting for 10% NH. 10% fuel on. Then wait for 45% and 62% NHDC. So it's like a 2-stage engine start. Parameter-wise, yeah, MP, low pitch, and the RPM is completely automated. You don't have to do. There's nothing I can find which allows you to control the RPM on this. Recall switch at the back of the pedestal. Got you. Thank you. Yeah, the document door is exactly for that, passing paperwork through. Saves ground crew from walking all the way through the aircraft for the rear door. That's awesome. Right, well, as far as I can see, that's two good engine starts. Let's get some electrical power onto the aircraft. So I don't know if it's automatic. Do I have to put... Oh no! Damn it! So how do I switch the buses, or do I just simply disconnect the ground power? We'll put those on. Window heat, probe heat, engine bleed on. Star select off. Start report, thank you. Keeps ground crew away from the props as well. I'll just let the aircraft get powered up again, just like me pulling out the external power. Just disconnect. You should have left that all alone. Got you. So you literally just disconnect it. I'll wait until it's finished restarting. DC gen on. It is on, Lauren. Isn't it? Oh, it just says fault. Ah. Maybe that's why. But I'll just disconnect the external power. Hopefully it would. Ah. Success. Perfect. Yes, now fix your buttons you clicked. Thank you. Right, it looks good up there. So, DC external power off and AC external power disconnected. Flap to 15. It's only got 2 flap settings, 15 and 30. Why is Jim's FMC dead? Yes, this FMC doesn't do anything. It's just nothing. It's just dead. Flaps 15 anti-skid test we've done. Pushback, taxi light on, no smoking seat. But that's it. I think we're all good to go. Have I missed anything serious? I can't see any white lights. We've got 2 engine starts. Everything looks like it's in the green. I want the nav display on there, so we're going to go back to that click spot. There, so nav is this button here. That's what I want. And then format is on the left and right. I want sort of the expanded, not planned. There we go. That's the one I want. Okay. Good thing we've got 480 plus FOs. I know. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. Speed target auto during taxi. I don't know what that means, guys. It's guarded. Can you help me, please? I have the Logitech flight throttles, but I can't set them up properly in the sim. Does anyone in the chat know? There's a PDF document floating around on how to get your peripheral set up. Right, let's now reverse. So reverse is selected. Let's release the parking brake. It's working. Sounds are a little lacking. You know, they're okay. They're very good. I wish they were a little bit louder. You know. So cancelled reverse. Don't brake when you're going backwards unless you want to tip. Now I'll set the brakes. There we are. So we've reversed our stand, and I've been to do that more times than I've had hot dinners in Tenerife. Right, so we're going to taxi to the whole point and then do the checklist. In fact, just before we do that, let's just do the before taxi checklist here. So FWS, we've talked about. Cockpit com hatch closed. CL1 and 2 auto. I think that's on. TR units. That's so cool how it brings up displays for you. So transformer rectifier units. Transformer rectifier units are all in green. There's nothing not green. Anti-skid we've tested. Flap 15. Nozzle steering's on. Next, it is the taxi checklist. So taxi and takeoff lights on. Just turn all the lights on there. Brakes have already checked. FGCP FMA set check. So this is the FMAs. Now someone said I need to select nav, which is what I'm going to do. And indicated airspeed. There we are. I think that's what I saw on the takeoff on the ATR in real life. Thank you, whoever that was in chat who helped me with that. I think it was ATR pilots. So that's done. And takeoff config check. I just need to release the brakes for this, but I'll hold on the brakes, push this. No binging or bonging. I think we're configured for takeoff. So let's now taxi to the runway. So I can just release the brakes. And I'll need to take the gust lock off as well. I guess you only do that when you take off. And heading. And heading. Got you. So heading and then LNAV I've sort of armed. Is that correct? Perfect. Not bad, guys. 40 minutes and we're taxiing. I think that's pretty good. And we obviously went into a lot of detail about certain systems. Took me 3 times as long last night. But we are on our way. And we're going to have such stunning scenery on this sector, guys. So we're going to do an intersection departure, but I am just going to hold short. The taxiing in it is, though, it's just the standard Microsoft Flight Sim taxiing. So if you go full on the tiller, it just understeers. And if you do anything more than 5 knots, it'll just go completely overshoots the corner. There you go. So, oh look, he's guiding me to the runway as if I'm lost. So just to demonstrate the taxiing, if I go full left look, it just it just doesn't grip. It's like you're taxiing on ice. Dear. Right. Anyway, there's the whole point. So we're going to do an intersection departure. There we are. And it looks a bit funky on the ND because I think does it think the runway's over there? Because I'm obviously going to turn right here to take off at 04. Maybe it's just because of the way it's coded, the 500-foot point. Right, so we're at the whole point here. Let's run through that checklist. So takeoff config test done. Taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist. Takeoff briefing performed. So what we're going to do, guys, I'm following this PDF here. Let me just bring it up for you. Make sure I'm on the correct page as well. There we are. So we're going to take off, set power into the notch, or PL, power levers into notch, set power. I'll leave the brake set there. We're going to accelerate, rotate at VR, 8 degrees and onto the flight director bars, raise the landing gear with positive climb. We're then going to put the power management here to climb. That reduces the RPM all for you, doing Airbusy style stuff. And then I think when I retract the flaps, it either bugs up for you, but we're going to initially pitch for 135 and then 170 for the clean speed here. It won't be pretty. I'm not an ATR pilot. I'll revert to what I know, which is flying a 7.3, but I'll do my absolute best for you. As I said, this PDF, just type in ATR checklist online and you'll find it. That's what I am following throughout this takeoff. Now, is there anything really critical I need to know, or anything that's I've forgotten before I take off that's going to cause major problems? Guys, I don't need to start the timer. It does it automatically. The elapsed timer just starts. It's absolutely wonderful. Right, get my checklist up here. So taxi done. So lining up, thrust levers, parking brake. I think it's just at the power now. I'll just run through this checklist. So takeoff briefing done, gust lock off, flight controls. Oh, I've not checked those. So let's just make sure everything's all hunky-dory here. So let me just turn on yoke cam for you. So full forward, full back, left, right. Here comes the rudders, right and left. So flight controls have been checked, airflow normal, cabin crew advised, engine bleed is on, exterior lights on, so let's turn on the strobes, and the landing lights are already on. Rudder cam, centre, lateral flight director, yeah, we've got heading selected, and next is after takeoff, so I'll bring that checklist up ready. Oh, different parameters, so we'll do 2 engines hopefully. Right, are you ready? Timer starts automatically, I'm sold. Right, let's do it. Ah, what do you want? There's a queue of ground traffic in the way. Wonderful. Right, I'll get lined up. I will turn on yoke cam, of course. You want to go speed auto. How do I do that, ATR pilot? Is that speed? How do I go into speed auto? Ignore all the ground crew I'm taxiing through. Not crashing would be important. Great advice there, thank you. Speed target auto, thank you. I know, yes. Right, let me just... Oh, magenta, I guess, is auto, isn't it? Thank you so much there. Oops. So magenta is good, I guess. And I think it automatically does its retraction, doesn't it? So if you only taxi slow, you can get full sort of tiller authority there. Now, I'm very concerned about where the routing information's gone. It is runway 04. You can see it's sort of off where the runway is, and I swear it didn't do well in the test sector. Well, let's see what happens. We can always revert to heading. Magenta is great. Thank you. Right. Togas in chat, or no, we should be saying not togas. We should be saying, what's the button? Not the button, the mode called. We should be saying, can we have your notches in chat, please? Right, so, all set there, not using any frequencies. LNAV is armed, auto speed. Get your notches, blame the French, right. We've got plenty of runway, so let's just do it. Man. More power, more power, more power, more power, more power. Man. More still, more power. Oh! Man, notch! Oh, I'm starting to look down. I've got some in notch and... there we are, notch. Light forward pressure, I've done it. That sets power. 80 knots, release forward pressure. Oh, guys, it's perfectly in trim. It's all set. It rotates on its own, which is a little concerning. If I was to demonstrate, up we go, look. So I think they need to adjust the trim slightly. Gears up. And their timers start. Look at the flight directors, guys. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, ATR pilot. Gears coming up. It's working correctly on that one. And LNAV. Wonderful. I've got... Oh, I need to make a note of this. I need to watch this stream back. Accurate flight directors. Please turn at 500 feet. Let's just change the format. There it goes. Look, 500 feet. And the FMS works really nicely, guys. We're going to go to climb. There's climb. It's now commanding 170. And I think I'll retract the flaps at the F bug. So there's the flaps going up. It's commanding 170. Look at this, guys. It flies nicely, but it flies like a jet. Flaps are up, gears up. I'm just going to hand fly for a little bit here. It seems to be very, very sensitive. Beautiful. What an awesome morning. And there's the... we're intercepting that track now. Beautiful. What do you reckon, guys? You know what? For 10 quid, awesome. Absolutely awesome add-on. I'm so happy I did those 2 practice sectors this morning, because if I just jumped into the aircraft, I didn't think about it yesterday, but it would have been a mess. But massive thanks to ATR Pilot, and not just ATR Pilot, there's a number of you giving me some really good tips here. This is my first ever time flying it, and I'm really enjoying it. In fact, I'm going to turn on my TBI tracker. There we are. Boy! Oh, look at this! Right. I will do some after takeoff checklist shortly, but we're going to maintain 170 knots all the way to our cleared altitude of 5,000 feet. Oh, look at this. Superb. Yeah, I have to say the modelling is excellent. Really impressed. I need to make ATR Pilot. Can you do me a massive favour after this video? Can you put in the comment section the takeoff what I need to do, like for when I next stream it, so I can make notes. So you know, push heading and then IS hold and LNAV and what I need to arm and stuff. Right, that'll do. That was so. I really enjoyed that. Right, that's off. There. Where's the autopilot? Autopilot's in. Yaw damper's in. Turbo track is off. And it's going to level off at 5,000 feet, which is fine. I just want to make sure that works. We're tracking on the SID quite nicely. This one doesn't have an overlay, but inbound to Alpha Alpha 533, and there's the right turn to Fate. So there it is, out star. The aircraft's obviously going to accelerate now, but what we're going to do is set our cruise level of 160. That is set, and I'm going to select VNAV. VNAV indicates airspeed, so it's now going to pitch up back to 170, and we'll now do the after takeoff checklist. So landing gears up, flaps are up, power management's in climb, engine bleed on, taxi and takeoff lights are off. Well, usually we'll do it at 10,000 feet. Temperature's looking good, and set altimeters. We'll set standard 1013 because we're climbing to cruise level. The transition altitude here is 9,000 feet, so let's set standard. Where is it? I know it's around here. There are standard set. Passing flight level 63, flight level 160. Set cross checked. After takeoff checklist is complete. Next checklist is the descent checklist. There we are. It's only a 45-minute flight. We've only been airborne for 4 minutes. What do you reckon, guys? I like it. I really like it. When I first got it and I jumped in, I was like, ooh, it's good, but, you know, flight dynamics, like I said, it doesn't feel anything like the FlyJSim Dash 8, which I know Dash 8 pilots have said is actually very, very good. For example, when you're changing power on final approach here, it doesn't seem to affect anything. The lift or anything feels exactly the same, but, yeah, I don't know. Actual ATR representation, I think, is pretty good. how many ATRs do this sector every day. Quite a few. Quite a few. I think the systems modelling especially is really good. Zoom is there. There we are. You got a little white circle for when we're going to get to flight level 160, and top of descent as well. And we're going to fly an RNAV approach, which we'll look at for when we get to our cruise level. Yeah, for a tenner, you can't really complain, I think. Absolutely not supersonic, Nigel. Now, if this was sort of along the lines of what FlyJSim are charging, you know, I'd be a little bit sort of like, that's a lot of money. But the FlyJSim 7-8 is excellent. Like that, the handling and we had a member who's a Dash 8 pilot, and he said the way when you change power and how it affects the lift over the wing was really well modelled, and all the systems modelling too. But don't get me wrong, this is still very, very, very good. Zoom is this one, and that's it. We maintain 170 all the way until the cruise level. If you push heading, it syncs heading bug. I noticed this. Why don't we have that? It's very useful. Excellent. Is the aircraft VNAC capable? What is that, Joey Pilot? Andrew B, what altitude would you set standard on the altimeter in real life and the sim? And it's the same for every aircraft. So, operator varies. My operator, because we have typically low transition altitudes in Europe, we set standard once we're above 3,000 feet above the ground and cleared to a flight level. Even though if we're below the transition altitude, we still set standard, which is what I do on my checks. We've got a bit of a wobbly switch here, I've noticed. It's sort of moving between power management and climb. It's like, no, I don't want to be in climb. I must go to max continuous. What else have I noticed? Yes, there's a little bit of a shimmer here. But yeah, nice. Look at the nice modelling of the temperature. I think that must be temperature of the... Ooh, it's going down quickly though. It seems to be fluctuating a lot. So I guess temperature in the cabin and temperature seems to be... got it all configured correctly. Oh, Joe, yes, it does have VNAV. Because your plane is from the 60s. It's true. It's true. Awesome. But can you actually set RPM at all, ATR pilot, or is it just it's just through this power management switch? It's crazy. But yeah, I like it. Joel, hello from Madagascar. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you very much for popping into the stream. Tim Waters, for the price, when you put it up against, shall we say, a certain 767 777, come on, it's really good. Yes. Yes, it is excellent. That's noise on the throttles. Add some change in the FB, it will stabilise. This is modelled though, Tim. I think there's no switching. That's just wobbling around a bit. But my throttles are actually on there. They're quite good. If it's all through that switch, you can get 100% override if you need to. So you literally control RPM through that switch. Pablos, if you have a moment, could you please show the pedestal control levers and options? I see thrust and fuel. What's the thing in between the throttle? The thing there's the gust lock, and then you've got fuel. So you just simply leave those in auto. Flaps, power lever, and you can see they're in that notch setting where they'll stay. I think even when you level off, it sort of accelerates to about 220 knots and stops. And then the parking brake. What this idle gate? I'm unsure, guys. I'm unsure. Everything seems to be modelled and working. Anyway, better turn the do a check then. So we'll do a fuel check at Vate or maybe Hotel November. Lights can come off. There's no APU pressurization. That's on all of the system pages. So pressurization, we've got diff pressure 4.6 psi, climbing. Cabin altitude climbs 200 feet per minute. Cabin altitude 2,300 feet. So that's set. No master cautions. Check's complete. It's a massive parking brake. It is. Josh, I can't help but imagine feeling incredibly claustrophobic in that cockpit. So only way out is up the top for an emergency escape hatch too, apparently.
Minimums, approaching.
Oh yes, there is one directly above here, which does not seem to be modelled. The camera in this can't see it. Qatar, thanks to the 11 months as a member, almost a full year, and what a great time it was. Thanks so much, entertainment and educational content. Thank you very much, Qatar, for your 11 months as a member. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate the support, and long may to you enjoy your time as a member and continue. Thanks, buddy. Jonah, do you know where the PDF file about the throttles is? Thank you. Someone on my Discord sent it, but I think it's in the Microsoft Flight Sim forums as well. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the compass, it sort of pops down. Very random. Bye bye Tahiti. We'll be doing the return sector, guys. Don't forget we're doing 2 flights today. Now for the first landing, I'm not using the replay tool because I did it on the test sector and it wrecked havoc with the aircraft. I think there's some bugs. People have been telling me with the panel states, like some people have been using the panel states and then the whole aircraft freezes. So I'm going to land, not use any or touch any panel states. We're just going to add fuel, and then I'll do a replay for the last landing into Tahiti. No problem, Pablos D. One to go. I'll do a little fuel check at Vate, as it's only 18 seconds away. I love how it's in seconds. So here's the flight plan. Vate, where are you? Should have been airborne for 13 minutes, 11, so 2 minutes early. We should have 1,300 kilos of fuel on board. Well, we've used 200 of 8, we should have used 300, so we saved 100 kilos as well. It was a quick taxi, that's why I put 15 minutes of taxi fuel. And as I said, we should have 1,300 kilos on board.
Minimums. Approaching
There's a fancy
minimums.
map there. How do we get the system page? We've got 14, just under 1,500 kilos, so we're saving a decent amount of fuel as well. Now we are levelling off. Now, VNAV out. I'm going to leave the power where it is. It seems to accelerate and never quite get to 220, so I'll just set... I'll just leave it in auto. Or when I level off, will it update the target speed, I wonder. Alex Van der Pass. Oh yeah, there you go. Look, 245 knots. It's sort of gone to auto, so it's already accelerating. A year of bantering Flight Data Sim in his private Discord server. What a great year it's been. Yeah, you're brutal, Alex, sometimes. Thank you very much for your support for that time, though, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Don't forget, members, if you're here on the channel, we're doing a competition in a Assetto course this week. Check out the announcement section. There is some giveaways associated with that. Thomas, clearly you aren't flying Alpaca today. No Alpaca out yet for the ATR. It's only been out for a period of not even less than 24 hours, I don't think. ATR pilot, 245 knots, not sure on that one. Is that a little ambitious, is it? Yeah, well, I've left the power set here in the notch, and it got to like 220, and it sort of stopped accelerating due to drag, I guess. Oh, is there a cruise switch? Ah, yes, cruise. So I've gone to cruise. I guess that brings the RPM a little bit further back. There we are, we're just below the amp band. It can't get over 240. Is it literally just can't go over 240? ATR pilot, very ambitious. Must be something to do with the FMS setup. Oh, cool. Yes, let's see what it does. I think I got to 220 with this power setting on the test sector. It seems to be struggling now. Pablo Steve, an engine died. How would you feather the prop? Great question. I should think it's automated, being an Airbus-y style turboprop, but I'd be guessing. Yeah, it's running out of oomph now. 213, or 270, 280 knots over the ground. Wonderful. Charts open already. So heading northwest, we've got the first island here. I'd hazard a guess Huhin, I don't know, it's a VOR anyway. And then towards these islands, and there is Bora Bora. Absolutely stunning in the sim, guys. Really, really nice. I wouldn't mind doing a year here. I have to take a 737 though. Brandon, you can record the replay and save it and then play it later after both flights. I could do, Brandon, but I like to keep it sort of in flow with the stream, and it might just, if I reposition the aircraft 300 miles away, not do it any good, but I'll just do the replay of the last sector. Polycarpio Gomebavos. Are you going to fly the 200 for Expert 11? How was the ATR? Yes, I've flown the aircraft several times before. I'm waiting for FlyJSim to update them for X-Plane 12. As soon as they've done that, I guarantee you when that's done, I'll be streaming it next day. As soon as I can.
Minimums.
Cheers, MC. Member 13
Minimums.
months. Appreciate it, buddy. He goes,
Minimums.
over a year? Didn't even notice? Oh, thank you very much, buddy, for your support all that time. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for popping into today's stream. Oops, I've just realised weather radar's on standby. I don't know if it's modelled, though. There we are. Ooh. I've got some dash lines there. Let me just whack the tilt down. See if it picks up any ground clutter. Minus 15. No. Put it slightly down, that's what we do there. Right, it seems to be pretty much stable equilibrium with notch power, 223 knots. And we'll start setting up shortly. Top of descent is somewhere. Well, I can see it on there, but I don't know where it's displayed here. Already isn't. Well, it's not going to take too long, guys. It's a short sector. Now, what I wanted to show you was this really cool system I found here. So you can sort of, if you press COM, nav, there we are. So you've got nav, and then you can select different modes here. So we'll put altitude on for the which it already the transponder, which it is. You can also control this for the FMS. TCAS system is there. Nav, you can tune the ADF this way. Traffic, we should have that on normal now. You can select airports. Look, so I have airports displayed on the ND. You can select that to terrain, which is pretty cool. So you've got a terrain there. But you've also got this PFD SVS system. So you turn that on. Look at that. And I think that's what the real aircraft has. But I think it's got some sort of fancy camera. So I don't exactly know what it means with the minimums. I think you can obviously see the runway through the cloud with this, but how it affects approaches, I really don't know much about that system. But yeah, it's all modelled. They've done a really good job, Asobo and this Hans Hartmann. A collaboration, I believe, the two. So yeah, really nice. And this is the release version, so no doubt further improvements along the line. There we are. I'll leave it on for now, why not? I think that I'd find that quite distracting. When will you do a new fault every 10 minutes stream again? Hexatronic says, oh, again soon. They're very popular, those streams. Takes me about 2 weeks to recover every time. I think that next one we'll look at the engine related issue I think we said we'd do. Hi, Lizard Doggo. Glad I could catch a stream today. I was originally suspicious about the systems, but I think I'll buy it. No, I think it's pretty good. There seems to be all the systems modelled so far. The flight model, I've not flown turboprops ever. All I can say is this: it feels very, very different to the FlyJSim Dash 8, and I know Dash 8 pilots really like the FlyJSim Dash 8. So I don't know. You know, my thinking is, look, we've got huge props here. You jam in power, you're not only increasing the amount of thrustment, but also over the wing, it's going to generate more lift. And when I change power in this, there seems to be no change in pitch or increase and decrease in your of lift or anything like that. So I'm none the wiser, but you know, do I prefer the Dash 8? I think, I'll be honest, I do, but it's 4 times the price, or even more than that. For a tenner, well, that's what it is on the moment. If you've got both premium, the better version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, even then it's still 15 quid. So yeah, pretty good. Let's do a Phoenix failure stream. You're joking. Why is someone else saying yes? Second that. Oh. Well, it should do it all for me, shouldn't it? Has this ATR been fitted with clear vision technology to land in the fog? Really no idea. Sandro, when do you think the 737 PMG going to release on Xbox? I don't know. I mean, it'll be fun to fly around with a controller, but for serious sort of simulator, I honestly don't know how it works, but I can see the sort of commercial value for companies to release an aircraft on Xbox. If I owned an aircraft and I could release on Xbox, I'd do the same thing. Right, we'll turn that off, and we'll turn off terrain. But yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? Right, top of descent, guys, isn't very far away. In fact, it's only about 10 minutes. So let's talk a little bit about the approach. I hope ATR pilot's still around, or other experts. We're flying in, as I said, to Hotel November, and then we're going to start on this arrival. The Huahein. Well, no, sorry, it's the Rue 1 Bravo, isn't it? The Rue 1 Bravo. So we're going to go via this VOR to Ospod, which is there, then to Rue, the NDB. Right turn 302 outbound towards the Bora Bora NDB, and then from there, co-located with the Bora Bora NDB, is the waypoint Bambi. Remember, we changed over from the waypoint to Bambi, so we're going to go from there outbound, and we're going to use the VNAV system. We're going to descend to 4,000 feet. We'll set 4,000 feet to go via Bambi, Bidop, no miss. We can then go down to 2,000. Bocal's out at 12 miles. And then Foxtrot Tango Bravo 11. So if we check all this here, we've got Opsod Rue, Bambi, Bidop, Nimoz, and then all the altitudes are in. Look, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, and it's even got the path. Now, for an RNAV approach in this aircraft, I watched an excellent YouTube channel flying with Magnar, a pilot based in, I think, a European pilot based out in Thailand, flying the ATR, and he pushed the approach button on his RNAV approach. He had an actual RNAV approach from the aircraft, so we'll do the same. But the thing is, this RNAV approach, it doesn't sort of put you on a 3-degree path towards the runway, I don't think. It sort of sets you, levels you off at MTB 11. So you can see, look here on the FMS, MTB 11, 379 feet. It's still 100, it's still a mile away, and, well, actually, to be fair, a mile, 379 feet, that's actually what we want to be. So let's try it. We'll try and see what happens. So turn off terrain mode for frame rate. Interesting, Sky. Thank you. I'm getting very good FPS in this aircraft. Ooh. There's the island. Well, that's not Bora Bora. Bora Bora is in the distance, but I don't know which island this is. It's the one I pointed out. There you go. So, how are we going to fly this then? Well, I'm going to use LNAV VNAV, guys. We're going to fly, as I said, to all these points, which we've now checked in the FMC. It's an RNAV approach, so I don't need to set any courses. There's no frequencies to tune. I will tune the NDB on the airport, though, just in case we lose situational awareness or RNAV capability. I've got an NDB stationed there, so that's 384. We'll tune that, so we can either do it via this, or you can tune it. There's so many different ways to do it. I'll do it here, look, just to show you. Nav, ADF 384, put it on ADF 2 ADF receivers, and then there's click spots here, look. There you go, green arrow pointing towards the ADF. It's really good, this. So we've got a green needle pointing towards the island at all times. Minimums for the RNAV approach. Is it a Cat A or Cat B aircraft? Probably Cat B. Set Cat B, higher minimums. MDA is 520, and it's LNAV minimum, so at my operator, we add 40 feet to prevent you descending below the MDA in case you're not visual, so I'm going to set 560. So MDA 560 is set blinking. Do I have to push a button? I think that's just as it is. What could go wrong? Flight data sim just said, but plenty. So I've got the MDA set. RVR's 1500 metres. The weather's beautiful though. In the event of a missed approach, I'll go flat 15. I'll set go around power, turn left, direct to Tango Foxtrot 418, then to no miss, and we'll try again. Lots of GNSS approach during approach. Number 2. We'll just continue visually. That's it. I think we're all good, guys. Dan, that's not a stupid question, because I genuinely don't know. And that's a great question, Dan86. I should think not, seeing they've got a special little page for it, but maybe it does. I don't think so, because you see here all the buttons to manipulate it. You can actually do it here, but obviously it's a bit awkward pressing the buttons look. So if I press performance look, yeah, I should think it doesn't look down there. But it is very awkward to use. So they have added these click spots, which I really like. I really like that. Anyway, yeah, landing performance. Let's press perf. So there we are. Approach. It's very slow. You know, it's incredible. I guess with full flaps here, 109. Look, 109 knots for the approach speed. So we'll fly 109, 110. Is there a way of setting this, or is it automatically programmed in? I think you just simply. Ooh. Oh, that's takeoff data. Whether this does anything, I don't know, but we'll just make a note of this speed, 109 knots, and we'll fly that. There's obviously no auto throttle on this. 109 knots. Check the landing performance as well. I should think this thing can stop on a dime. So, performance, landing, it's dry. We'll use reverse thrust, it's not a very long runway. There we are, look, 109 knots. Approach speeds. Look, it's constantly changing. Arrival runway length, it knows 4,900 feet. We need 2,000. So we need 2/3 of this runway here, and it is not a long runway, but it's long enough. 4983, 4931. Slight discrepancy, but yeah, 1,500. I won't attempt to make the exit, but there's a little 180-degree turn point here. This is one of the detailed updates there. What's magical magic? It says it's saying in chat. Right, there's the ND click spot. That's the map. Performance, ND. There we go. Formats down. Oh, look, you've even got things to add there. There we are. Perfect. Excellent. Top of descent's not too far away, guys. And there is Bora Bora, our destination, in the distance. Hexatronic. I usually fly on the de Havilland Dash 8 in the mountains here in West Norway. Surprisingly comfortable for a turboprop with a set of noise cancelling headphones though. I used to fly the Dash 8 commute when I became a captain to my base, and yes, I can concur, very loud. I can't believe you'd find a pilot willingly flying a plane with touchscreens. Well, you might have some. A lot of the new business jets with touchscreens, aren't they? Top is magic. It's automatic and the bug will change as you configure. Amazing. You can't set any bugs. That's really cool. Any nuclear tests going on right now? Did you check the node tabs for them? Well, actually, they probably did set them off not a million miles away from here, didn't they? When they were testing them. I hope not. There's Opsod. So we're established on the arrival now. Going from Opsod to the Tia NDB, and we're going to write direct to Bora Bora, or AK Bambi, whatever that waypoint was called. Not Bambi. It was Bambi. And I have to say the VNAV when I did my test sector worked well. Is the decision height and MDA bugs meant to be? Are they meant to be blinking like that? Ooh, what's that going off there? Oh, I think it was just sequencing the next waypoint. Ah, Kubrick's MDA is blinking because FO side disagrees. Switch FO side from DA to MDA. Amazing. Yeah, they must have beat, have they? Oh, so cool. So helpful, guys. Thank you. Wish they had a sync feature, though. Seeing we're on single pilot approaches here. So when we land, I might go back to live time. It'll be another sort of sunrise. We're only an hour behind live time. There's a little airport there as well. It's Ratia. This would be a nice place to do a fun group flight, wouldn't it? It's almost like an Airbus at Chelsea. Maffalo, yes, you said you've been here, didn't you? Fun fact, while I stayed at Bora Bora for 4 nights, drones are not allowed except at certain resorts. For example, the one I stayed at, the Four Seasons, there are signs everywhere, no drones allowed. People on the aircraft flying around. That's a shame. I went to Tenerife 2 weeks ago, and I really wanted to take my drone. I've got a DJI Mini, but I was a bit like, I just didn't want anyone to take it away from me in security. Not that they need to or could do, but I was just like, oh, I don't just bought it. Right, approaching top of descent. So we're going to step down here as per the arrival. So minimum altitude is 4,000 feet on this sector. So what I'm going to do is preset 4,000 feet. Feet there, and I think just approaching top descent, it automatically in VNAV starts descending. You just have to reduce power. I'll bet I don't mind, but I'll probably have to wait till I retire to get to Bora Bora. It's far away. Brandon, any chance to fly a lap and a hold? Sorry, watching on delay if you already answered. Not today, just want this sort of to go sort of as to plan, but my next stream, potentially I might fly again on a busy VATSIM event. I'm confident enough to take it onto VATSIM now. Sync MDA with FO. Yes, I did think about that, Christian, but I best, hadn't I? Yeah, there we go. Look, we've got lateral and vertical deviation bars now. Let's set 560. Oh, it's set already, look. What? 560, 560. Oh, it is synced up. Yeah, exactly, Alex's meme dump. That's why I didn't want to risk it on an international flight. On domestic I would, but just didn't want it taking away. Look at this. There we are. Our destination, guys, is there. There's the airport. What a beautiful day to go flying. Approaching top of descent, so VNAV out's engaged. Let's see what happens. VNAV path. Ooh, it's doing a bit of a dirty dive, so I'm going to reduce power now. To idle. And I'm just going to maintain like 230-ish knots in the descent with power. So man, I've taken it out a notch. Obviously we're going to accelerate here, and I think it's just a simple, you know, adjust power to just set the speed you want to fly. Yes, Rob G, good question. What power should this be set to? I guess it goes to takeoff at some point. Well, let's run the checklist. So, descent, FWS, recall, flight warning system. So, I guess there's nothing there. Landing elevation checked, FMS I've set. I've set the MDA, arrival briefing performed. Before taxi I've done. I think I just need to click these to confirm the checklist. After takeoff we've done, and we'll do it in order. Descent we've done. Next approach. Seatbelts, landing lights, I think I've left them strapped in. That's all done. It will be in cruise. Okay. Just watch that speed. Take a little bit of power off. So every time I adjust the power, it just updates in manual. Oh! Oh, what's happened? Oh, God, yeah, it stopped working for a second there. Oh, there's definitely issues here. Look, just to show you, look, if I go idle, look, it's now, of course, it's now working when I look. There's a lot of sort of. It's a really fiddly system. I think that's just to allow for this sort of notch setting and things like that. But I'm not a fan of the sort of how they've modelled the D10. It's a bit fiddly, but I did have to kind of get it all set up and working. ATR pilot, yeah, send a 230 knot speed manual, perfect. I'll do that. And when I go to idle, look, it seems to really slow down. Does it do anything to increase drag when you go to idle, like change the RPM of the prop or the angle? So if I set it to 230 near idle, but if I actually go to all the way, watch this, look. It's pretty much idle, but it's holding 230 nicely. If I go all the way to idle, look at the rate of deceleration. It increases really quickly. So I don't know if the RPM changes or something, or that's sort of the equivalent of getting your speed brakes out. If you want to go down quickly, you just pull it to idle. So it definitely decelerates quickly. No, that idle gate keeps you in flight idle, not ground idle. Interesting. Don't forget the idle gate once you're on the ground. What? Ah, have I meant to remove this? See, these are things not included even in the checklist I'm following. Flight idle reduces the speed. Okay. Jorge, was it really worth it to go that high for such a short flight, or does it have to do with minimum flight level? Yeah, it's quite common for short sectors. So we fly from the UK to undisclosed destinations west on a different island, and we go right up to a cruise level, and we're only there for sort of 7-8 minutes, come straight down again. It's still the most efficient way of doing it. Alex Peggle, for the ATR 4 years. We've got many ATR pilots here. Anyway, we're now on the arrival. Flying outbound from Bombay, directly over the airport. Look at that scenery though, you gotta love it. Alex used 240 knots for descent. Right, you literally flew the clacker. Well, that's what I'm doing 240 now, I suppose, aren't I? I'll do what you did then. I like speed. Just taking a bit of power off though. But the VNAV seems to be doing an excellent job. Diego, do you like it? I do. I do. I'm sure one of the members will make an ATR livery. You'll be flying Alpaca Airways ATRs in no time. Right, passing local QNH now, so press B. There we are. QNH set, so put the lights on. Strobes are already on. Angle bank, can't change. Pressurization's been fine. Seatbelts still on. Where are you? Checks complete. Keep going a little bit fast there. Is your left and right view inverted? Hey, don't know what you mean there by that, Alex. Hello, Valdem. I'm pretty new to the channel. What's up with Alpaca liveries? Ah, Alpaca Airways. You've not heard? I can't even remember the link to get the liveries. Is it that, or is it livery? One of the mods will know. I can never remember. No, we are turning sort of downwind here, just to show you the approach we're flying. And I have to say, it's doing a superb job flying it. Thanks, Listerman. Left turn to no miss. We can now descend to 2,000 feet, which I'll set. And you can see, look, it's sort of VNAV's got the altitude pre-arm, look, 2,000 feet. Although it does say flight level. So we'll set 2,000 feet here. It's where I'd expect to be, the height.
Welcome.
At what point do I arm approach for the RNAV approach? Welcome aboard there, Carlos Gonzalez. Hope you're doing well. No, it's basically like the CRJ, target speed and glide path. Josh X cannot confirm nor deny. Heart-shaped island looks very nice. Romantic holiday here. Are we going, Listerman? Doesn't look so much like a heart now, but it does look a little bit beautiful, isn't it? What a beautiful part of the world. Maybe there's an ATR right over this island as we speak. Right, turning base. At what point do I start slowing down, I wonder? This will be taking me on to sort of a 12-mile final, so I want to start reducing speed. We're going to be below 185 knots to drop the gear in flat 15. I'm going to go to this idle because it does really slow it down. I know I'm probably not meant to do this, and it's probably ground idle or something, and I'm very, very dangerous. But it is slowing down quickly. Very impressed. Very impressed. Now this little bug is, yes, this amber bug is the flap in gear. Maximum gear extension flap 15 speed is 185 knots. What a wonderful machine. People, I haven't got it yet. I do have the Flight 1 ATR. Apparently it was a previous Hans aircraft. Ah, really? That's the checklist I'm following for this. The Flight 1 checklist. I don't even know it's for an older ATR. So he's been involved with it in the past. Very good. So I'm idle and it's just about holding the speed here. Might bring the flaps out shortly. Lights are all on. I'm just catching up with the checklist here. Oh, I'm still on takeoff. Final approach then. Okay, so we'll select flat 15. Now we're turning final. Below 185, I'm just below it. I'm going to select it. It's just below the speed. Look, it's already updated to 1 to 140. So flat 15 coming out. What point do arm approach? That's helped with the drag. This is wonderful. Really, really good. And there's the airport straight ahead. What happens if I arm approach? Can I see? No, it's not doing anything. VNAV path. Right, I'll drop the gear next. We're at a distance of... Well, it's not runway point coded there. So we're in 10 miles now. I'll drop the gear and flap shortly. Yeah, approach didn't work. Checks, one to go. Now, approaching descent, 2 miles from this point. So what we do at mile per operator, we set the minimums, which is, maybe I have to be past the FAF. So the minimum is 560, so we're going to set 700 feet. We then verify VNAV path. Speed window is open, but obviously we don't have to do that in this aircraft.
30, 20.
Oh yes, thank you Diogo,
10.
very kind of you. I'll try and arm it after this faff.
Hello, Captain.
Hello.
Where did you see the northern lights?
Oh, thank you.
They're beautiful.
They were. Who saw my pictures? They were amazing. So many people liked it as well. Just to the south of London, that was on whatever day it was. It was incredible. One of the best things I've ever seen. Not only at work, but in my life. It was so good. Oh crap! It's non-standard. Sorry. Thank you. Thankfully, the QNH is. Oh God! What's happened there? Ah! VNAV out, VNAV path. I think it's just levelling off at the FAF there. QNH now set, thanks guys. So hopefully it will start descending. Right, let's drop the gear. Flaps. Oops, ooh, just a little bit too fast there yet. Just make sure you're below 150. So VNAV path, let me try approach. No, oh, is it going to start descending? No, it seems to be level at 2000. It's not following the path after this point. It did on the test sector. It carried on descending on the path, but I don't know why it's not doing it now. So what we're going to do is disconnect, because it's just leveled off at 2000. Doesn't seem to be wanting to do the last part there. We'll disconnect and hand fly. My controls. And I'm going to turn off the flight directors because they're providing guidance based off a being level at 2000 feet. So let's just... Oh yes, so I'll press the button to cancel that. Oh! It's way out of trim. Way out of trim. There we go. So I'm going to descend now, sort of visually, keep the airport where it is, let it get a little bit high. And look, it's all bugged all my speeds for me. Just going to take a little bit of power off, but look, if I add loads of power, it doesn't really affect, it doesn't stop, the rate of descent, rate of climb doesn't change. ATR pilot, if you were to add lots of power, would it start climbing with the same attitude? That's what it does in the Dash 8. Oh, a bit high here. I'm just going to set a bit more, it's around 1,000 feet per minute. But yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't let me arm approach and keep descending. I can guarantee it was an error I made, and I'm a little bit high here now. Good thing is I can just point this thing down. I'm doing about a little bit more than 1,000 there, just to get back on profile. There we are. Profile's going back in there. C1 red. No more than 1,000 feet now. Is approaching the landing gate. 2 reds, 2 whites. So set a sensible picture. So instinctively sort of adding power as I would in the 7-3, a little bit fast. So that's probably the correct rate of descent. Keep the runway where it is there. It's a beautiful day. 3 knot wind from the left. But yeah, power changes. Check. Power changes don't seem to be doing anything. So there's VNAV out. We haven't got any flight directors on now. Keep descending a little bit high.
Minimum.
Continue.
Minimum.
Continue.
500.
Check. There's Airbus Andy. Right, a little bit off centre line. So yeah, so holding the speed. Adding a bit of power now. It flies a bit like a jet, but very, very sensitive. It feels like a light aircraft, like a light aeroplane. Tad high again, keep descending, back on profile, checked. Like if I cut the power, it doesn't sink like crazy like it does in the Dash as well. It seems to be much easier to land than the Dash 8. Checked.
50, 40, 30,
check.
20.
Look, if I take the power off, look, it doesn't sink. So that makes me think it's not very realistic. Because I think in a Dash 8 you'd be really down. Right, we're down. Speed brakes. No speed brakes. Reverses. Oh, look how powerful the reverse. I haven't even touched the brakes. I have not touched the brakes at all. Look how powerful they are. Sus. Very, very sus reverses. It's like I slammed on the brakes. Or maybe it is that powerful. I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bora Bora. Oh, we've made it. I'm not so... Oh, that's full left, guys. Ah, the sim. Turn! We would normally bring the power back about 30 feet. Oh, maybe it is more like that. I can't tax it, sim. I got full left. Anyway, ATR pilot out of 10. Surely at least a 7. Sorry about the grass. There's literally nothing I could do. Reverses are that powerful. Well, there you go. See, I've never flown a turboprop, so it could well be that's how quickly they stop you. That felt like I was slamming on the brakes there. But very, very good. Say it's a realistic stop. There you go. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Welcome to Bora Bora. First ever time here. Amazing flight. Really enjoyed it. We've made it in one piece, which is all I was worried about. We're going to taxi on stand, shut down. I'll have a quick 5-10 minute break, and then we'll do the return sector flight ILS approach into where we go back, Tahiti, into Tahiti. There we go. Right, flaps can come up. We'll take this left here. This is where I filmed my trailer for the stream. Thanks, Rob G. Hope you glad you enjoyed it. It didn't crash. That's the main thing. Still yet to crash on the stream. But yeah, I don't know. Just the handling. It feels so different to the Dash 8, and that's all I can know to compare it to. And I know Dash 8 pilots do quite like the FlyJSim Dash 8. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the ground power connected, and then shut the engines down. Imagine that the ground crew do that. I mean, we do it on the 7.3 when we have no APU. Get the ground power connected with engine number 1 still running. We'll take this one here. We're going to back out of this stand later. Golf 2. This is one of the updated airport sceneries with the world update. Absolutely stunning. I've not done any of the cleanup, guys. I'm just going to get parked up first. That'll do. There we go. Right, parking brake is set. Let me just do the cleanup here, guys. So approach checklist we did. Before landing, cabin crew power check, power management to take off. Oops, so that says don't go to take off. Some people in chat said leave it cruise. TLU low speed, as required, external lights on after landing. So radar, stand by, flight controls locked, which I can't do. Trim reset. I'll set that to 0, and we'll then set it up for the next departure. Of course, landing and strobe lights can come off. Take off the logo light, that's not needed anymore. Probe heat and anti-ice can come off, which is here. Another 21 degrees in the cabin. So they're all off. TRU, what was TRU again, guys? Can't remember. After at least 2 minutes, feather then fuel shut off. Then parking checklist next. So let's shut the engines down. Oh, let's get the ground power connected. So reset that just in case. I didn't even touch the brakes. Maintenance, options, aircraft. There are ground power connected. So I guess I'll just shut the engines down. Let's do it. 2 blues, 1 red. Feather. Ah, no. Let's feather first. Or can you go straight to cut off? Did he once crash on St. Martin in the 172? Actually, Seneca. I don't know what you're on about. It didn't count. Didn't count. Right, let's shut the fuel off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bora Bora. Real world route completed in the ATR. Look, it's not powering off or anything. Seems okay. Let's open the doors. Wheel chocks in place. Main doors, cargo doors. Put the tail prop in so it doesn't tip over. Service door. Everyone's enjoyed their flights. They're going on holiday in Bora Bora. Let's have a look at the parking checklist here. So parking brake set, feathered, beacon can now come off. There we are. Transponder to standby. So that's down here to... Is it... Which one is it, guys? Not video. That is literally a camera. Miscellaneous? No, I can do it here. Com... Transponder... standby. There we go. So transponder standby, tail props in position, seatbelt sign off if new leg, or if leaving aircraft new leg, procedure complete. There we are. So we're all ready to do another sector. Well, not available. Oh yeah. What was it? I was going to do something. What was it? I can't remember. It was something I forgot to do up there, wasn't it? I don't know. Anyway, we'll leave that for now. I think we're okay. Feather than 30 seconds and shut off. Thank you. Same as the Dash 8. It's a little bit ambitious. Well, there we go. First sector complete. I'm very, very happy. We're going to do the return sector. It will be another offline flight. So I'm still getting up to grips with the aircraft. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you liked it, don't forget to thumbs up. And I'm going to have a quick break. I'll be back in about, well, 5-10 minutes or so. Just going to nip to the toilet, take Jack out so he can go too. And then we'll do the return sector to Tahiti. See you shortly, guys. Thanks a lot for that intermission, guys. I've done absolutely nothing. I've just literally went to the toilet and then took Jack out, and I've left it exactly where we were. So yeah, we're going to do the return sector now to Tahiti. Flight time is going to be the same, 45 minutes. Just sort of following the checklist I followed on the first sector. I have to say a massive thanks for most of you in chat. You've been very, very helpful, as has specifically ATR 72 pilot, who I guess is actually a real driver on this thing. So I've learned a lot as well, not only on my test sector as well, but I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you all so far. Now let's try and get back to Tahiti. Right, so aircraft is, as I said, completely as it is. On your bed then. Come on. Guys, I need to show you Jack. I haven't shown him yet, have I? There he is. Look. Jack, who is it? Oh, yeah, don't nudge the camera. Oh, on your bed then. Come on. On your bed. On your bed. On your bed. On your bed. Lay down. There he is, look. Oh, he's just trumped. Oh, absolutely reeks. Oh, Jack, that stinks, mate. I've just taken you out. You absolutely reek. Yeah, I know. On your bed, then. Oh, something worse than dog fart smell. Anyway, as I said, it's completely as it was. So checking the overhead panel, I won't change any of the configuration here. We're still on ground power. We've done the fire tests already. You can see, look, it's getting warmer in the cabin already because we don't have any engines started. No, I don't actually know how they'd keep the cabin and cockpit cool for long periods of time because they don't have an APU. I guess they're reliant on some sort of external air. Welcome aboard there, Hunters. Hope you're doing well. Reckon they'd be there from the... oh, yes, the screenshots Coquette from my test sector. It's one of the main reasons I do it, so you have a nice... relatable introduction and intermission, everything from the flight. So I always take the screenshots in the test sector, then Streamlabs plays it as a slideshow. So that's what I do. I think it looks quite cool. Timer, how do I reset this? I don't know. Hopefully that will reset. We'll get airborne again. Because on my test sector I had the chronometer working. Now I need to reset the FMS. So to do this, it took me ages to... I just basically went to menu, FMS, in it, pause in it. I can't update it again. So if I put GPS in, look, it won't accept it. I don't know if that's a bug, but it won't let me update it again. Maybe it's because it doesn't need it. And then I go to flight plan in it, cancel flight plan, and then route... oh no, where was it? Where was it? Return. No, that's second page, isn't it? Swap flight plan. Oh, cancel second. What did I do to put in a new route? I don't know how, because it doesn't reset it like it... hotel mode. I'll try and do hotel mode if you really want me to. I'm trying to remember how to reset the flipping FMS. Pause in it? No. Flight plan in it. Route. Ah! I think it was... okay. I think it's blank now. Yes, doesn't seem to be anything in there. Let's go from there. So here's the second flight plan from SimBrief. We're now the Victor Tango Alpha 02. Air Tahiti 2. So Victor Tango Alpha 02.
Welcome.
We're routing from November Tango Bravo to where is it? November Tango Alpha. Okay, that seems to have worked. Execute. We'll be departing off runway 11. The SID we're flying is a Hotel November 3 Alpha. Execute. After Hotel November, we're routing direct to Arama. Drama. After Arama, direct to Iduta. Execute, and then we're flying the Iduta 3 Victor. So it'll be ILS 4 Zulu, Iduta 3 Victor on page 2, and I'm not going to select the transition because I think it puts the hold in. So there's Arama, Iduta. Is there a way of going to plan and then Checking it all. That looks about right. How do I step through it like you can on the 7.3? If I go here to like legs, because there like a step function so you can check the routing. So I can't actually see the picture here. Let me just check the chart. The easiest way of checking it. I just need to unload this sector and load in my new one. So unload. Flights unload. There we go. New flight. Import from SimBrief. Coming in. There we are. So got my new flight plan in. So we're going to route from Eduta. Next page. Delta 252 Romeo, 239, 225, 219, Ovini, and then straight in. So it looks all good. Now, when I did this yesterday, VNav did not do a good job of it. I don't know if it's because I flew 2 sectors in a row. We'll see how it gets on today. But the arrival's in. I'm happy with it's all that it's all coded correctly, and we'll go from there. So that's done. Flight plan, menu, FMS, init. Weight. So, oh yes, we need some fuel, don't we? So, fuel for this next sector. We need 1573. So let's put 800 kilos aside. So we've got to go here. Fuel. 817 aside. That'll do. We'll have the exact same passengers just to keep it simple. So 0 fuel weight is going to be exactly the same as it was last sector. So fuel is now, hopefully that's updated straight away, 1600 kilos, excuse me, 1600, 0 fuel weight's the same, 19326 we'll call it. Maybe I'll just type it in again. Yeah, it's taking it as well. Trim, takeoff 1 and 1% down. It's not a good trim though, because you'll see it against it. It just rotates up on its own about 10 knots below V1. So I don't know if they need to adjust the trim on this, but if I press set, you'll see, look, 0.9 up, 0.9 up. So I have got the correct trim set for departure. Flight planning is correct. Change the mode using the rotary knob, then go through the flight plan. Change the rotary knob. Is that here? Oh, I'm sure you can, but I'm happy I've checked it on the legs page anyway, but thank you very much for pointing that out nonetheless. Now, where's my routing gone on here? Present position. What's happened to my flight plan? Oh, there it is. Eh? How come I couldn't see it before? Okay, there we go. Something's in the box. I'm not sure what that McGree... Oh, yeah, that's going to be the... pointing towards the ADF, I think. There we go. Excellent. So how's the FPS? Very good, Hunter. So I'm getting 40 FPS at the moment, en route even less. So FMS is all loaded. Just checking through the checklist here to make sure I've not forgotten anything important. We've done all the additional tests this morning. Earlier on. So I'm just going through here. Excuse me, guys. Done. Oh yeah, just the flight level. So menu, flight plan, init, perf init, and the performance need to do as well. So cruise altitude on this sector a little bit higher, 170. That's all set. And then the performance we just need to do as well. I think I need to deselect. How do I deselect all these modes? Pitch hold. Yeah, I think we can just rearm that when we take off. What was I going to do? I can't remember now. Performance, that was it. There we are. So takeoff performance is all set here. V1, 108, 108, 111, that's fine. So reset fuel used. Confirm takeoff data. I'm clicking it. Why am I not getting any V speeds appear? It did this yesterday as well. Is that because they're yellow? One 108, 108, 111. I've got 138 bugged.
Welcome.
148. Confirm takeoff data, but it's not putting my speeds in. On the first sector, I got the V speeds appear after pushing confirm takeoff data, but it's not doing it now. Let me just refresh that. Confirm takeoff data. What have I? Is there anything I've missed? Welcome aboard there, Shun Swat. Hope you're doing well. Captain, you can. Oh, you're talking about the hotel start. It will work. Trust me. I believe you. I believe you. Ah, yes, the hotel mode, of course, is how you keep the cabin cool. Needs to be set in the EFB. That's not what we did on the first sector, though. And they're automatic. These you can't set. They're pre-populated. Don't know. I really don't know how to get the V-speeds in there. It worked perfectly on the first sector. I should have only done one, shouldn't I? Takeoff data. Confirm. Maybe set speed to 100 knots or so. I'll set it to 170, which is the climb out speed. We'll go back to auto. It's gone back to 138. All my usual helpers have not got any idea. Now I could put the speeds in manually though. I think 108, 108, 111. What if I type that in manually? Ooh, manual speeds 108, 108, 111. Normally when you confirm that's it, not sure what it's doing, must be something in the FMS. Yeah, I think it's a bug. It worked fine yesterday on the second sector because it just pressed that and the speeds came up, but it's not having any of it now. Even putting manual speeds in, look, nothing's appeared on the PFD. Interesting. Right, guys, make a note of these speeds, and we'll just have to accelerate and rotate it at 111. But unfortunately, the speeds aren't setting. Transition altitude also is 9,000 feet. I can't change it. I think the FMC's a bit broken, guys. It could be that there's a problem here. Right. Well, imagine that's done. Perfect. I think we're all good to start the engines then. Right, am I going to try this hotel start thing then? I love how they call it a hotel start. So, hotel start. What is the procedure? I've not done this, so it's all completely new to me. So, am I right? And we'll start the engine. And then put the parking brake on. Prop brake on. Check you have the trim set in the FMS. Well, I didn't do that. It is the correct trim off the EFB. One unit down. 0.9 up. How do I put this in though? What's the format? But it won't accept this. No. Completely different. It's the CG. A. Completely different. I'll leave it, guys. Just leave the V-speeds there. Right. Drag modelling, where when flying around 150 at max takeoff weight flaps up and flight out of its saddle still stays in the air. We're on the first sector. It felt okay. I don't know much about that. Cabin is getting a bit toasty. Yeah, I'm working on it. Can you please? Yeah. So I'm trying to find out how to do this start thing. Change the mode using the ratio knob to go. I've done that. Okay, right. Do I just start the engine now? I don't want the thing to catch fire. You know what? That's what will happen. I think I just start it. Engine 1 or 2. There's nothing here in this checklist. It just talks about starting the engines normally. Oh. The silence in chat is just deafening. I'm starting engine number 2. 10%. Fuel in. No, it's spinning! Well, that's not worked. Oh, hold on. It's not worked, guys. I need a proper checklist, and I need to practice it first beforehand. But it didn't work. It's a bug. I think it's a bug with the turnaround. I think prop brake was on. The prop brake was on. 100%, guys. You saw it.
Welcome.
So, I've not tried it, but it didn't work at all. I think turnarounds, I'm having issues, and I did yesterday, guys. Like, I think subsequent sectors is causing problems. It did for me yesterday. Hopefully they'll fix it. Starting engine 1, but prop brake was on. Nothing happened. Restarts. No, we'll go from there. Well, the prop brake light was not on. Yeah, do you reckon it's a bug, guys? Because nothing's happening. Gust lock needs to be on. Oh, is that why? Is that linked to the prop brake? No, still not doing anything. Oh, I've got an unlock button though. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. It is the gust lock. There you go. Well, there we go. Even the ATR pilot didn't spot that. We call the NTSB. Well, sorry guys. You know, like I said, if I had a checklist and something to follow and something I'd done before, I don't like doing things the first time without trying it. Yeah, it definitely. When I turned the gust lock, we had that unlock button flash. So yeah, I should think that had to be in that position. ATR pilot, how? Yeah, where were you, ATR pilot? Come on. There we are. Let's just reset the altimeter. Right. Anyway, I've got 2 good starts. Do bear with me, guys. This is my first time ever streaming this aircraft. I've only had it on my PC for less than 24 hours. Right. Let's go to normal procedures. I'm happy we've done all of this here before propeller rotation. I should have done this really though, because I would have then checked everything's correctly configured. Right, before taxi. So let's have a look here on the overhead panel. Oh yeah, right. External power off. It's all connected. Let's get rid of the... Yeah, don't worry about the doors. No white lights on the overhead panel. Flaps to 15. Seatbelt sign is coming on. They're already on and on. Nav receivers are set. We're just going to use the nav, LNAV and VNAV eventually for departure. Runway heading's already set. I think it is, unless I forgot to set it on the approach. No, I never set it, did I? Nope. There we are. 04. Excuse me. 112. 112. Is set. There's no stop attitude on this SID, so we're going to go straight up to our cruise level, which is 170. Yeah, a bit out of sequence here, guys. Yeah, beacon, thanks. Well, the first sector went a lot better than the other one. So yeah, the only issue we have is I'll try one more time to get these speeds in. Confirm takeoff. Ah! It's working! Confirm takeoff data. It's there now. 108. Perfect. Wonder what it was that stopped that from working previously. Because I had that issue yesterday. Oh, there now. Perfect. Excellent. Cool. So, the SID's in. Hotel November. I just want to make sure is that SID. I don't think I selected the SID, guys. No. Oh, I did. Hotel November 3 Alpha. I have to take off, turn left to... If I selected the wrong SID... No, Hotel November 3 Alpha, and then to Hotel November, then arrival. That's it. So the SID's quite simple. It's just left turn, 096 from the NDB, then to Hotel November, which is in there. Cool. Oh yeah, beacon light. Thank you. Is it now? Is it now on? Can't see where it is. Right, bear with me guys, but thank you very much for your patience there. So that's all now set up, ready to go. I don't think I've missed anything too critically important. Cockpit comm, anti-ice TIU, flaps said anti-skid test done, flat 50, nose wheel steering on. Next is before takeoff checklist. Right, let's do a reverse off stand. Yeah, very impressive for 10 quid. Yeah, I think it's very, very good. Right, brakes released. Back we go. Typical when you said it wasn't working, it suddenly decides, so I don't know what's going on there with the speeds not working before. Probably it was the gust lock. Whee! Beautiful. Turn off on taxi lights coming on. We will backtrack here. It's quite a short, a considerably shorter runway than in Tahiti. So speeds are now all set. If I remember rightly, ATR pilot says we can select heading and then preset nav and then IAS as well. If that's what you want to have for departure. Strobes can come on as well.
Welcome.
And we'll do the before takeoff checklist. So takeoff briefing, it's going to be climbing straight ahead, a slight left turn to Hotel November. We'll engage VNAV as we climb up. We'll initially climb up and then accelerate, retract flaps to 1,000 feet AGL. That will do. Flight controls, matches check. Transponder needs to be turned on. That's in this setting here. So RMS, this transponder on. That is set. And we'll imagine being cleared to backtrack, line up and wait runway 11. Gust lever set correctly, not yet. There we are. GPWS light was illuminated. Yeah, was it just one guy developing it? Yeah, the developer was a chap called Hans Hartmann. I don't know if he was the only one, but I think someone said he was involved with the original Flight 1 development one in FSX, so you'd have obviously the background knowledge. I really like it. It's grown on me. When I first installed it yesterday and started, I jumped in here and went, oh my god, and there was no checklist or guidance. It was a bit big, I would say big negative, you know. It'd be really nice if it just came with a PDF. You know, a lot of developers have a little PDF checklist just to follow it through, and there wasn't that many available online. I did find a couple, but again, they're based off older variants of the ATR, the steam gauge cockpits. You know, not all developers do it, are there? The MD-80, which we flew last time, didn't have one, so I found one online, which was quite helpful. But it'd be nice to have had one. It does have the integrated checklist with Microsoft Flight Simulator as well, but I don't like using that one. I like to use either one that's included or a PDF to follow on the side. Right, so MCP is all set, transponder's set, weather radar I just need to turn on, which is here. Just bring it to a stop there. So weather, I don't think it's modelled or anything, and then we'll do a 180 and we'll go on our way. Not bad, 2 hours in and we're only just we're taking off on our second stream. It's usually a lot longer than that. Whee! So the lapse timer, I've been reliably informed, resets as we get airborne. $94 tails, good point, but yes, yeah, not everyone's going to want to be flying it as per accurate checklist, are they? Press stab 4 times to turn the weather radar on the ground. Ah, I don't know if it's modelled though, ATR pilot. But you can't get a more spectacular departure than this, look at that. Right, a little bit off centre line, but I think we're in business. Right, let me just get to the correct page I need for departure to make sure I can follow up the PDF in case I forget anything. That's what I wanted. Right, notches in chat please. We are going back to Tahiti. I'm just going to set, I'm going to be a bit all hands all over the place here, so I want to set it in the notch before. Man. God, I have to increase it low. Still man. Oh, notch. Right, we're ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see if it takes off on its own. Just put some light forward pressure there. The 80 knots. So I think they need to revise the trim settings. It's rotating on its own! V1 rotate. Positive climb, gear up. I forgot to turn my flight directors on. No biggie. Flight directors on. Beautiful. LNAV's engaged. It's really nice. So remember, guys, you want to have heading man notch. Notch. There we are. You want to have heading selected and IAS to get the correct flight director guidance. So we're gonna. Woo, really sensitive though in roll. Yeah, the flight director and roll is really sensitive. Look, it's just I'm rolling left and right of it. There we are. So it's now bugged to 140. Superb. Pitching down. Flaps up. 170. Yes. Take me eye tracker on so I can enjoy the scenery. Bye bye, Bora Bora. It's superb. Very good fun. Pitching up now to maintain 170. Oh, select climb. Oh, it didn't make a reduction of noise. Last time we did that, it went. So there's 170. Yeah, the flight rate is very, very, very sensitive. Beautiful. Right, all in trim anyway. Pretty much. Just want to roll a little bit to the left. Happy with that. Autopilot yaw dampers in. Yeah, I really enjoyed departures on this aircraft. Climb into flight level 170 now, and we'll set standard. This is what we do at my operator, guys. Passing 3 for flight level 170 after takeoff checklist. Cabin crew advised, engine bleed on, exterior lights on. That's before takeoff. After takeoff. Landing gears up, flaps are up, power management's in climb, engine bleed is on. Taxi and takeoff lights will do at 10,000 feet. Altimeter standard set. After takeoff checklist complete.
Welcome.
There we go. Welcome aboard there, Arnie Jokel. Hope you're doing well, Sky. Now I know why there's a cargo hold between the cockpit and the cabin. It's so the passengers don't hear the pilots playing Pac-Man up front. Brilliant. Timer didn't reset. What? No! No, no, no! Someone said it would. Lies, lies, lies. Has it started counting again, though? Oh, no. Right, I need to make a note for takeoff. Takeoff, use notch, and I need to select heading cell, IS, then LNAV. And make sure the speed is magenta. Just for my next flight in it. Perfect. It is counting, yes. Oh, it's just a. What was the first flight? 45 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Chrono button to reset timer next to the standby compass. Yeah, that's with the chronometer though, isn't it? Oh, that actually resets the elapsed timer as well, does it? Oh no. No. How do I reset? I probably have to hold this down, don't I? Oops. Timer doesn't reset unflyable. Perfect. Bye bye, Bora Bora. Yeah, once you get airborne, workload's pretty low. Now, in the Dash 8, guys used to use pitch hold mode and not an indicated airspeed hold because it would sort of wobble around as the speed changes. It's more stable. I don't know if they ever used it in this aircraft. I actually go to VNAV, yeah, indicated airspeed now. Yeah, we'll do one more stream in this before we jump into something else, just before I forget everything, but we'll fly it again. Hi John from Wiltshire, thanks to 29 months. You did say it was quite Airbusy. Surely automated rotation is therefore a feature. Yes, they need to update the trim settings. 100% had the trim correctly set as per the OPT. So this said trim of 0.9 down. I pressed the set trim and it was set. But both takeoffs, the nose came up completely on its own, about 5-10 knots below the VUR. It just started coming up. ATR pilot, sorry, the elapsed timer should do it itself. Bug. We found a bug, and it's the most important bug of all. The elapsed timer did not reset. I think we can let them off. But yes, on the first takeoff, started automatically. It was wonderful. Top of climbs there, top of descents there as well. We're going to be flying an ILS approach today. I want to see how VNAV does on this one, because it was a little aggressive, let's say, yesterday in descent. Sort of, the profile was fine, and then it put me on a 10-mile final at 6,000 feet, and I was like, that's not going to work, so I had to do an orbit. Pascal, as I found out today, ATR is owned, 50% of it is owned by Airbus. Which makes a lot of sense, because it does look very Airbusy in here. But 600 is a fundamental, huge upgrade over the classic, isn't it? Liverpool, fully trained pilot going, wee, made my day, yes. Commander, 737, believe it or not. You can always have a bit of fun now, aren't you? I do occasionally play sound effects in streams too. For example, things like Lego Yoda deaf sound. Has that not made your day? What's the ETA? Says Roy. Let's have a look here. It is... Oh, you know what? I can just go back to live time actually now. For ultimate realism, because I love going live time. Boop, there we go. Sun's just setting. Sun just rising. Let's have a look here. ETA is, according to this, 17:58 Zulu on runway 04. So a little over 30 minutes. Are you not entertained? I'm going to start my 737 tie rating in your operator. Hope to see you during my live training. Best of luck, Joel CP1. Best of luck to you, sir. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Wait, which training? Nagasaki, yeah. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, so overall, guys, pretty good. Just did pre-cruise checks here. So fuel is good. We'll do a fuel check later. Lights, logo can come off. I think it's off already. Angular bank, don't need to set. IPU is none. Pressurization, we'll just quickly check here. Where's system click spots? It's just trying to find these click spots. Pressurization, 4.4 psi, 2,100 feet set. Release passengers. Where is the dong? There we are. Checks complete. I've done any window views today. There you go. Yeah, I have to say, we'll have obviously a sort of analysis after we get back into Tahiti, but yeah, I like it. In fact, when I downloaded it and jumped into it yesterday, I was a bit like, oh my god, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but following a checklist, got it airborne in the test sector, and yeah, like many add-ons, it's outweighed my expectations. Things I don't like, I think I question the flight model, but it could be very good. You know, some of you were correcting me about the reverse pitch and how effective it is. It felt like I'd slammed the brakes on, but certainly when handling on final, it feels so different to the Dash 8 in Explain, the FlyJ Sim 1, and I know that has been well respected by Dash 8 pilots. They like how that's been modelled here. I just don't get any of that sort of unique changes that you get with this aircraft. But having said that, the ATR 72 pilot did say they cut the power at 30 feet, which you don't do in the Dash 8, so it could well be differences between the two. But we need to get ATR 72 pilot to start his YouTube channel and start flying it and providing feedback. 34 degrees in the cabin. Yeah, it's a little toasty. There we are. I've cooled it down slightly. Ooh, what's this? Sun visor. Ah, we have to rotate the mouse wheel a lot though. Cool though. Can you extend it? Or is that it? That's it. Thankfully I've got a mouse wheel I can sort of disconnect from the lock, the clicking, so I can just rotate it quickly. Yuri, can you consider the plane study level? I think the systems modelling is very good. We've seen some little bugs which have been pointed out by the real ATR pilot. The term study level is obviously one which is somewhat controversial. Some people don't like that term. High fidelity is one that people prefer. I think it's pretty good. I think for the price it's very good. £15. I think that's very, very reasonable. I'd honestly, if it came out, I'd pay more for this. I'd probably want to pay more than £30. I think that's probably what it's at. You know, things like the, you know, would I prefer this on the Dash 7, the Dash 8? Sorry, for the FlyJ Sim. I think I do prefer the FlyJ Sim Dash 8. Just in X-Plane, and the systems of that is awesome. The quirkiness of that aircraft, but I do like this. I think the workload's a little less on this than the Dash 8. FlyJ Sim's Cat Loki has passed. Oh dear. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm getting Majestic Q400 vibes. Have you ever tried that? I have not tried the Majestic one, but I've heard it's very good. Alex moves up. I paid $60 for the S767. Yeah, I think they're a little overpriced, the Flight Factor stuff, but they can charge obviously what they like. I do like them as well. Is your mouse the G502? I think it is. No, it's the G903. Love it. Really good mouse. Really good mouse. I've had it for 2 or 3 years. I'm left-handed, you see, so I'm a dirty lefty. See, look, it's on the left-hand side here. I'm a little ambidextrous. I can use my right, but prefer my left. Hello, Moen, Dash 8 lover. Oh dear, yes, you love the Dash 8. This is actually very good. You should try this. We all know you love a turboprop. I love how it is very Airbusy by leaving the power levers in this sort of the equivalent of a climb detent. How to set up the ATR for ILS approach. You're going to see that programming, boss. We're going to do an ILS today. Make sure you... I don't know if you have to do it. ATR pilot will confirm it, but I think you might have to flick this to ILS. Yes, you do. Look. Can you see that? Look, you've got to go to ILS, and it says lock here. Lock armed. It's concerning. We'll go back to L. No V, no out, I think. There we are. We've made our cruise level. It'll now bug 245 knots for us. Valden does not like the Dash 8. Don't let Bowen hear that. He's going to ban you. Dash 8 is probably one of the most hated aircraft. It's incredibly ugly. I just hate that the landing gear attracts into the engines. It's a lot of hate. Right. Why is that still bugging 170? Before it went to 245. Have I forgotten something? I could do it manually, I suppose. But then it's just going to go straight back to 170 when I push that. Yes, 170. Anyway, we're level. Reset to cruise. Not thank you. Cruise. Cruise is set now, but I guess that doesn't affect this. Still 170. No auto throttle, relax and dream. Yes, it still reckons that we're going to get to 17,000 feet at Arama, even though we're at 17,000 feet and still 4 minutes from Arama. I think for the return sector, a few bugs are creeping in, a few little niggles. And I think that's probably why it's stuck at 170, but look, it reckons we're going to be at 17,000 feet there still, but we're here already. Sus. Anyway, we know we're at 17,000, or 170. And there we go. Programming bus, is that true that the automatic indicated airspeed selector is buggy, or is it just my wrong config? Now on the first sector it was working really nicely, I automatically bugging the magenta bug on auto speed, but I had issues trying to get the V-speed set on the return sector. I've had it in the past with add-ons where if you try and do a subsequent sector, not many, but some have just sort of gone a bit weird. It hasn't worked properly. I always remember the one in the IXEG 737-400. Nice add-on. I did a return sector, 2 sectors in that, and it was completely broken. Like the VNAV, the FMAs, the flight directives were just going all over the place. It's not in out, I think. It's in VNAV out. Maybe if I cycle VNAV. Ah! Oh no, it's still saying 170. VNAV out. What was it before? No, it's still saying. I think it was that before, wasn't it? I can't remember. Well, Sky says, well, the wings are still on. I can work with that. Yes. Igor, just like in the Dash 8, select heading, otherwise it will change to roll mode, and then select the source to VILS. Perfect, we'll do that today. Now see what happens when we pass the 170 little bug here. Oh, it's got a text on the window cleaners coming tomorrow. Wonderful. Well, I'll accelerate sort of at the best speed. Alfie Douglas, thanks for the 45 months as a member. That's absolutely crazy. Thank you very much for being a member for such a long time. Almost 4 years. Is that 3 years and 9 months, isn't it? 3 years and 9 months. Thank you, Alfie. Can't hang around, but thought I'd pop in to say thanks for what you do for your weird little community / family. You're most welcome, Alfie Douglas. Thank you very much for popping in. I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for supporting the channel for almost 4 years. Absolutely balmy. I can't believe it. It was just when I was becoming captain. Hope you're doing well and enjoying life and look after yourself. It may still be in approach mode. Oh, really? Ooh, we do have this little bug here. Maybe you have approach speed activated. That can explain why you have Magenta 170. How do I get out of approach mode? Or is that just a bug from the previous sector? Yeah, it's gone now, the little 170. I've got a top of descent point, but like yesterday, seems to have left it really, really, really late. Like the top of descent was something like 40 miles away. And I was at 170. William, it's crazy seeing the amount of complaints about this. I've loved it thus far. Yeah, I don't think I've seen many complaints here. I think that the bugs we found have been relatively small, and I personally really like it. I do. Perf page in the FMS. Let's have a look here then. Oh, I think I just knocked the throttle. Oh, okay. So, bear with me as I try and find this. So let's go to menu first, FMS. Edit. Perf. Perf in it. Or is there another perf page? Oh. Aha. Ooh. Well, that's a bit, but yeah, look, you can see like the numbers going over to the kilos. I've not seen this page before, guys. MS forums have been very negative over there, have they? I like it, guys. Personally, I like it. I'm no expert, and I want to thank you all actually in chat for helping me with the aircraft today. It's been great. A really good fun interacting with you today. Perfect again. NTAA. That's where we're flying into. Is it? That's great. I've not seen this page previously. Oh, approach speed deselect. Oh, you guys are so clever. You're so clever. Very well done. Now, answer me this: is that meant to have automatically reset after landing, or do you have to deselect that in the real aircraft? Very, very good, guys. Very impressed. Great knowledge you all have. I'll never remember that. Listen to me, will you find an ATR expert density as high as this anywhere else? It's been great. That's superb. That seems to have updated now. But yes, ATR 72, I don't know if you're still here or any other expert ATR pilots. After landing, the FMC did not reset. It still had the original routing in. I went to like a secondary route. Is there a way of completely resetting it, or is it like the 737 FMC when you get to sort of 60 knots it just resets to control alt deletes, ready for the next sector? ATR pilot, you do not have to deselect that on the real aircraft. Very good. Yeah, so hopefully in an update they'll have it where the FMC resets. It just resets as it was cold and dark. I'm guessing that's how it works in real life, because I think most of the little bugs we've had have been associated with that. Not getting the V-speeds to appear on the second sector, the little speed here still stuck in an approach mode, and I would never have known to have got to that. So well done. We'll see how we get on with the ILS today. Right, let's start setting up for the approach. Top of descent I've just found, 17 minutes away. Good time to start setting up. Let me just get the chart open. Hope the volume's all okay, not too loud in the sim. There's Bora Bora behind here, over the Pacific now. I'm going to make a left turn at Aduta and then inbound to intercept a DME arc. Let's see how the aircraft behaves today. So you can see Aduta, there's the next point, the 252 radial from the VOR at Tahiti, and then we'll intercept the arc from there. So, let's have a look at the approach. Aduta, we can go down to 5,000 feet, inbound to Aduta to the 252 radial. It's not coded, but we have 5,000 feet, 3,000 feet, so VNAV should comply this, and look at the speeds it's given us. It's actually got us going to 170 then for 240 for some reason, I don't know why. So 240, 240, 240, 240, 240, 240 knots on runway 04, interesting. I don't know if that's meant to reduce, or maybe it's what the real aircraft does. Fly the arc manually. I've done it before. I've done a DME arc tutorial. We'll see. I've never flown it before. Right, let me get the VOR active first. 12.9. Damn you lot. 12.9 for the VOR. I'm tuning it on my radio tuning panel. 12.9 on 1, 12.9 on 2, and I'll put the ILS on standby. 1099, box 1 and box 2. Right, the VOR is active and the ILS is on standby, so I can select here, bearing, VOR, I only need one. Put on VOR 1, and the idents Tango Alpha Foxtrot TAF. There you go, Jim, would you like some bearing information? There you are. So we've got VOR information pointing directly towards the VOR in that direction. Well, I'll see, guys. I've not practiced. You know, I like to try and do everything as realistically as possible. So I'm going to fly this either by hand, or the DME arc is based off the TAF VOR, which is now active. It's an 18-mile arc, radial 252. On the 225 radial, we turn left final, max 220, to intercept the final approach track via Uvini, which is the initial approach fix. They have different speeds based off different heights. That's essentially it. You can also come in the other direction too. Onto the ILS via Uvini. Oops. ILS Uvini then 1099. We're just going to set the courses, which is 041. Now I'm just going to temporarily go to heading select here. I don't know if there's another way of doing it. If I go to heading select ILS, and then I can actually set the courses. So the courses are 041. So that's set, back to FMS and back to nav. Do gyms as well. Oh, it's done it for me. They synced. 041. There we are. Still an L nav. So frequencies, courses, minimums 255 feet for the ILS for all aircraft categories. Season D only though, but we'll set 255 MDA. Set it to 260. 260 set. gyms. Hopefully they'll have an update so you can actually sync the two here. So frequency courses minimums are set. We're going to intercept the DME arc. It's a 18-mile arc onto the final ILS via Ovini. We can step down from the arc to 3,000 feet, intercept the ILS at a distance of 9.2 DME based off Papa Tango. I think it's going to read 0.2 on the threshold. 3-degree path. And in the event of misapproach, climb straight ahead to the VOR. Then outbound from the VOR 042 to Mona. 13 miles, hold at 3,000 feet. And then once we get to Mona at 30 miles, we climb to 5,000. So initial stop altitude 3,000 feet, and we climb up to 1,000 feet before accelerating. That is all. Runway then, lovely and long, 3,400 metres. We can most likely make Sierra Golf. If we don't make Sierra, no problem at all. If not, we do a 180 turn back up to a 747. Can we do that there? Go to nav and make sure auto is still selected. Uh-oh. What's auto? Is that the speed? This auto what? I don't know what you mean by auto ATR pilot, sorry. Yeah, we're happy with the performance of the second. I mean, do we want to check it? Rather runway 11,000 feet, stopping in 2,000. We're using less than a fifth of the runway, so we should easily make Golf. Just go flat 30, speeds, reverse. See, that's what I mean, look at the reverse difference. Reverse to 2,183 to 187. What brake force is that based off? Seems to be very little difference. We'll use reverse thrust anyway because it's mental. There we are. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Frequencies courses minimum set. The ILS approaching the top of the descent point. Performance we've done. I just need to select the final approach speeds. Which I think are done here, aren't they? We can do this fancy calculator. Find the click spot for it. Oh, there it is. So I don't think I need to do anything to set it. It just bugs automatically. But same approach speed as before. Normal 107. Go from there. There's the top of descent point. You know what? Actually, looks like in a bit. The top of descent point was definitely at 252 radio. The 252R point there. What is a little crank below the screens? That would be to bring the rudder pedals backwards and forwards. Marek was with 0 raw data. We've done raw data in the FlyJ Sim 737-200, and that was really hard work. It's the vertical profile that's going to be tricky. I'm going to probably just utilise, because I want to see how VNAV works. It's how most of you guys are going to be flying anyway. So at 17,000 feet, 17 times 3 is 51. So ideally want to be around 50 miles away from top of descent. Progress. So it's 13 miles, so ideally about 63. Yeah, 66. You know what? VNAV might put us bang on the ILS here. Let's see how it works. I've been very impressed with the VNAV in this. Danny6, any tips for getting more realistic flights of Simbrief from trying some internal Taron routes, and I get 9,000 feet, but the real aeroplane goes 19,000 feet. Just type it in manually, Dan86, that's the best way to do it. Hi, Matteo Chua, hope you're doing well. I've seen you around for a very, very long time. The MCD is definitely the most bugged system in the ATR, yeah. I think if they can get it to reset after landing, that will fix a lot of issues. In my humble opinion. Don't forget to all these other additional features as we were showing earlier if you missed on the first sector. Weather radar on, terrain radar. You've got this SVS system look so you can see the terrain ahead. Very, very, very cool. Live time, live weather. What is the local time here? 6:37 in the morning. turn that off. So it's really quite nicely modelled. I think com is sort of like the default option there. Ah! No, I don't want terrain on. There we go. Right, top percent's coming up, guys. What we'll do, we'll have a look at the stars, see what the minimum safety altitude is for this sector. We can go down to 5,000 feet from Meduta. VNAV out is engaged, setting 5,000 feet. The aircraft should descend automatically. I'm concerned by this green line going beyond. You can play flight sim inside a flight sim, yeah. That's what everyone comments on that when you select that option. Yeah, Patrick Trooper, I think it's an impressive plane for the price, so I'm excited to see what they can do next. Absolutely. There we are, top percentage chats. We'll reduce power now. I'm not going to go to idle. I'm going to go to F1 idle. Ah, no, that is idle. There we go. Yeah, it was a little bit of a dive, wasn't it, to bit onto that VNAV profile. God, we have the sun in our eyes on final, aren't we? Superb. VS indicator not working, so it's just very small. There you go, look, 1,500 feet per minute. Yeah, the textures are okay, but I think the quality of the screen's pretty good. Yeah, it's good, guys. It's not even like a light series. When Microsoft labelled this as expert series, I think everyone was a little dubious. I think plenty of developers have used that term, or certainly, I think there was a lot of hype built around this, and historically, or what I've certainly seen in the last few years, a lot of hype is built behind a product and its release, and sometimes a bit hasn't sort of led to that. But this aircraft exceeded my expectations considerably. I'm still an absolute novice flying it, but I think it's really good. I think it's really good, and it's not even like badly modelled. It doesn't seem to be missing, as far as I can see, anything. So yeah, I'd be very interested to get the opinion of someone who flies the aircraft. I have no experience flying any turboprops, but yeah, we've had very few issues. And if we did, it's most likely down to my incompetence. Anyway, I'm not doing it badly. Ooh, there you go. Look, VNAV does, though, after waypoints, look, it does this little dirty dive. We just went from 1,500 to minus 3,500 feet instantly, and now it's doing a really steep dive. Actually, I'm going to have to reduce power. Ooh. So yeah, as I was just praising it, I think can have some little quirky moments here in the vertical profile, but let's see how many miles. 35, 70, 105. Yeah, we're a little high. It's doing what it did yesterday, putting me a little bit high. Check power knob. Don't know what that is. The blue, yeah, it's overshot slightly. Still going down to 5,000 feet. There's max 220. I'm just going to bring the speed back to 220 now. I find it very hard to control the speed. It's either idle and it slows down, or man and it accelerates. But it's probably sort of power management. Where's the power management knob? Oh, is it meant to be? No, I've been told to leave it in. I've been told to leave it in cruise, Jim, by an ATR pilot. But yeah, look at the arc seems to be doing now. Now it's levelled off, look. VNAV has levelled us off and the profile showing us on profile. We're 32 miles away. We should want to be at 9,000 feet and descending. We're 1,000 feet high. So I'm not sure what VNAV's done here. VNAV path is levelled off completely and we're about to turn onto a final here. This is what happened yesterday. ATR pilot power management stays in cruise until you lower the landing gear. There we go. Yeah, I think now. Ooh, now it look now it's doing. Oh, now it, yeah, guys, it's. Oh, the autopilot's disconnected. I've not touched anything. Oh my god, what is our rate of descent? Oh, what's it doing? Oh, hello. Oh my days, we were doing in excess of 10,000 feet per minute there, and an overspeed. Right, I don't know what happened. I didn't touch anything, and it's gone completely berserk. Okay. As we were just saying, it's not. Oh, there's our profile. It's come back, but I think we're just going to have to just go into some basic modes here, guys. It's not liking this here. It was working so well. So I'm going to go indicated airspeed autopilot in heading. We're going to go for the localizer here as well. Where's the heading? I can't find heading. Heading select. Yeah, it did. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh my god, it's not doing my controls. That was a bit weird. Right, I'm just gonna. Let's just level off here, guys. I'm just gonna level off 5,000 feet wings level. The autopilot's completely gone berserk. I've not touched or made any inputs. What happened there? It didn't do that on the test sector at all. Right. We're heading away from the airport. I just want to get in trim. Let's just maintain speed. It's nowhere near in trim. No, now we're in trim. It's really wanting to roll to the left. Is the autopilot? Why? I've disconnected. The disconnect button's not working anymore. There we go. Right. Autopilot's in. I've set 5,000 feet. What's it doing? The autopilot's trying to kill me. Right. I've got like loss of control here. It was doing so well. Right, just to show you, look, right, let's match the heading. 5,000 feet. I just wanted to see what's going on here, speed. That was really interesting. Right, let's just get them on the flight directors. Right, it's in. Look, I've let go. Look, autopilot in. What's it doing? I don't understand why it's doing this. Look, it was perfectly on heading selected out. It's just turning. The autopilot doesn't seem to be working. Right, just to show you, if unless I'm doing anything stupid. Look, I'm disconnecting the autopilot and it's staying engaged. Right, now it's done. Right, so I do it one more time. Heading bug. Yeah, I know where the airport is and stuff. So just try it one more time. Right, let's get perfectly on the flight directors. Right, speed sensible, 190 knots. Like, I'm in trim. Watch what happens as soon as I engage the autopilot. Oh, now of course it's going to work. Why it didn't do it before? Right. Let's just see where we are in relation to the airport. Let's go to ILS. ILS 15 miles, 5,000 feet. Look at that, we're pretty much on profile. Let's go here, turn left, give ourselves an intercept heading. Interesting. Yeah, it was working so well, and then it just went. I don't know what happened. Like the vertical profile just went skew whiff. Like the first profile was really nice. First flight was really nice. So we're just going to hold 200 knots here. Give myself an intercept heading. I've got no. Oh yeah, I need to tune the ILS. That's why. Box 1, box 2, below the glide slope. Okay, that's fine. What I'm just going to do is just give myself a bit of a dog leg. We'll descend to 3,000 feet. as we fly towards the localizer. Yeah, really interesting. Let's get back to 220 knots. We'll keep him in the 7.3. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know what happened. We've been flying it for the last 2.5 hours perfectly. It went past that vertical, that waypoint on the approach, and then it just went absolutely berserk. Absolutely berserk. So 3,000 feet set. We're going to go to IAS. It's now going to pitch for that speed, like in level change. Actually, no, I'm going to go vertical speed. Yeah, this gives us a chance to play around with some of the other modes anyway, doesn't it? So let's just do 2,000 feet. Say we sabotage Gibson doesn't have any competition. Brilliant. What do I need to be below 185 knots for flaps? Set 2,000 feet. Give myself an intercept heading. Islopes alive. Nav. Locks armed. And it's just like a conventional aircraft here. Keep ascending. Bit of a sharp intercept, to be fair. Might struggle with this one. So it has got lock capture, but it's going to overshoot. And that is my fault. I'm giving it a bit too sharp intercept. It's doing fine now. Glide slope's alive, so let's just adjust our vertical speed to stay on the glide path. Oh, sun's my eyes. And we'll arm approach. Approach armed, glide slope armed. And we're at a distance of 9 miles. Glide slope capture, missed approach altitude, 3,000 feet. Set. Perfect. Well, that was interesting. Just start the flight recorder, guys. I don't understand what was going on that channel when I on the thing when I basically engaged the autopilot and just jammed in, like just turned left on its own. Anyway, 175 knots I need. I just need to go a little bit slower. I can't slow down. I'm in idle. How do I slow down now, guys? I'm in complete idle, 3-degree ILS, and it won't slow down below 175. I'd think it would slow down quicker than that. Because I've got to get below 175 for the flaps. Toby iTruck, yeah, I can't slow down. I want to get below 175. I'm completely idle, and it's like too slippy. I'm on a 3-degree ILS. I'm doing 1,000 feet per minute idle, and it's not slowing down. I think the real aircraft would really slow down quickly here. I am just below 175, so I can select 185, so I can select flaps. Now it's slowing down. I think it's is it a management mode, is it? Yeah, I was told to wait till I've dropped the gear, though. A real ATR pilot says to take off. Go to that mode when you drop the gear, which I'm going to do now. Gear down. Oh dear, the ATR pilot has not been impressed with certain aspects of the aircraft. You would go speed idle and it would slow down. There's something wrong with the plane, many bugs. I think the drag model is not great. I went completely idle. It was like, well, a 737, if you go idle on a 737 on a 3-degree ILS, it will hold the speed beautifully. Look at this, I'm flap 15, just to show you, look, my power's completely idle, flap 15 gear down, and look at the deceleration rate. It's a knot a second. This air, it would fall out of the sky. The 737 would fall out the sky. Landing flap coming in. Let's see how long it takes to get to this speed here. This is full flaps and gear down. I drag central. Look at the deceleration rate, guys. 120, 121. It's losing a half a knot a second, a knot a second. Gear and flaps are down, and I'm idle, and it's just basically holding the speed. That I don't think is right. I didn't really notice that on the first approach. Anyway, we're on the ILS, looking good. Disconnecting autopilot. Oh no, speed. No. Why is that the same sound as the autopilot disconnect? Who designed this? Right, anyway. We're on final now, all established. Right, yeah, I think the drag on final there was...
500.
It could be that we've done a second sector. Oh, sorry, I've just realised Yocam's not on, guys. It could be that we've done a second sector and it has broken things. Because the first sector went really quite nicely. The second sector, we've had loads of issues.
Approaching minimum.
Checked. More than I did on the test sector. Right, so ATR pilot said cut about 30 feet. Which I don't know if you do on the dash, it doesn't work. What was that? What was he barking at me for? Continue, I think he said.
200.
Check. More minimums. I've got hardly any power in here. I'm pretty much idle. Look at the position of the power levers. Look at the N1. It's like 11% to hold the speed. And that was low speed again.
50. 40. 30.
Cut the power then.
20.
That's what I was told to do. I'm just going to do a test look. Look how much lift it has.
10.
Look, I'm 20 knots below the target speed. I can still fly. Just doing a test here, guys. Well, I still buttered it. I just buttered it at 80 knots. The plane wouldn't do that, guys. I just don't think the flight models. I think yeah. Anyway, I do like the add-on. I do. But I just wanted to check. I purposefully flared up really high at the end just to see what it would do, and it just flew like I had loads of speed, but nowhere near enough drag for a turboprop. I was idle and it was holding the speed. I don't know. Maybe it's something there. But let's get the ATR pilot to go purchase it and tell us what you think, and we'll all subscribe to your channel and watch. But anyway, yeah, the first sector was like great, but the second one we've had so many issues, and it could be just going there. But everyone's tuning in now, going, "Oh no, that's what you get for 10 dollars." Guys, it's been so good up to this point, and then it was only on the last bit there. It just went. The last 15 minutes have been pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. I was idle power that whole approach. Like it felt like I'm flying a jetliner, guys. It feels like I'm flying a 7.3 with the power settings I had at idle and things like that. Oh well, it's yeah. I don't know. It's very good though. I do like it, and for a tenner, it is good. And it's the first version. Let's see what updates come there. Like I said, watch the first approach. Maybe I was idle and I just didn't realise it as much now. But on the second one there, the flight, a few issues. Still horrible taxi physics of Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's full left. This is the ATR 737. Yeah, absolutely, Jafer. Nothing impossible to fix, and I'm very glad we've had at least one ATR pilot here the whole time saying, yeah, it should be doing this or it shouldn't be doing that. It's very, very insightful. Thank you very much, ATR pilot, for all of your input today, and others. I don't know if anyone else here was or has the experience as an ATR pilot, but it was very, very useful. Even people who have had experience in other versions of the aircraft. Guys, I'm just taxiing. This is just default scenery here, so I'm just going to sort of head over towards where we started. Which version of the fly model? Yeah, but it is what it is. Right. Let's plonk it here on this yellow line. Flaps are up. Oh, shut it down, and because they do have panel states, and I'll get the engines running for the replay. There we are. Let's bring it to a stop. Parking brake is set. Perfect. I'll just do the cleanup here. So lights can come off, strobes can come off as well. I don't like how some are up and some are down. Such an ATR thing, I think. Flaps are up. Parking brake set. Transponder. RMS. Select this here. Can go to standby. Rest it's off. There's no APU. We'll get the ground power connected now. Ground power's on, and window probe heats can come off as well. There we are, all off. Feather for 30 seconds. ATR pilot, thanks everyone. Not had a chance to use this. It was great watching this with all of you. Good job, Flight Sim. Thank you very much, ATR pilot. I really appreciate you coming in. It's been a blast having you here. And yeah, drop me an email. Simon JC, Dream Sim, Explain Physics, Microsoft Flight Sim, Visual Fidelity, Weather from Active Sky would be a nice mixture. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if this aircraft was 30 or 40 quid, it wouldn't be a good sign. I'd put it for a tenner. I'll put it for a tenner, so, you know, I can sort of go, right, yeah, flight models didn't, well, it was awful on the approach there, but for 10 quid, does everyone really care about that if you're flying it on VATSIM? And you can control the speed, but guys, we were on final, we were idle. I was idle, I had gear down, flap 30 idle, we were losing a knot a second. This thing would fall out of the sky, and then in the flare, I just kept on flying to see how slow I could go. I got to like 90 knots and I still buttered it. You know, the thing would fall out the sky if you tried to do that in real life, and you'd strike the tail and it'd be a mess. Anyway, oh, I've lost external power. What have I done? ATR pilot, where are you? Oh, coming back. On, off. I forgot to turn those switches off. Anyway, those aside, let's go outside here for a little conclusion of the aircraft. As well. Oh, lights, look at this pro pilot here. Have I turned these lights off? No, I think I forgot to turn them on. But yeah, because we had so many issues, I think I forgot to turn them on the way in. Right, yes. Let's have a look at the comments there. I think especially during the approach up when we had all those issues there, you guys are loving it. So I was meant to be doing a manually flown DME arc, and then it just went absolutely berserk. It was VNAV that threw it off. It then went into a 10,000 foot per minute excess dive. Then I lost the autopilot. Then I got everything in trim, put the autopilot in, and then it just rolled right violently. Don't know what happened there. Scores back. I can recommend, guys, if you want to learn about the ATR, check out this guy's YouTube channel, Fly with Magna, real ATR pilot, got some good procedures. I watched it in preparation for this. I think I recall watching one of Magna's videos where in real life the nav engaged aggressively as well. Oh, I saw that comment, yes. ATR pilot's comments I saw. Lots of whoops roller coaster mode, Chief Pilot's Office tomorrow for you, absolutely. Maybe it was because we did a second sector, because I had no issues like that on the first flight. Who knows? If anyone could replicate that and that approach and see what happens, I'd be interesting to hear. The trim sound, I know Lust for Keyboards, Pac-Man, isn't it? We got the aircraft under control. We tried to then re-engage the automation to lower my workload. Didn't work. Again, fly the aeroplane, level flight above the MSA. You know, we're visual over the sea there, wings level, re-engage the automation. And then we positioned for the ILS. And then we could just see on the approach there, it all just went weird, like idle, and I went idle on a 3-degree ILS with flat 15. It just would not slow down. I don't know why. I'd expect with these big fat props you'd have no issues with slowing down this aircraft. Anyway, flight model aside, where the first flight I just couldn't see anything really wrong with it. Second flight, multiple issues. I do like the add-on, and Expert Series, I think if the flight model was better, it'll be best placed to be under Expert Series. But the actual flight models we saw there, I just don't think is up to scratch at the moment. Hopefully there'll be improvements. But that aside, the FMC VNAV on the first flight worked really, really nicely. The systems modelling seems excellent. It's nice and stable. Seems to hand fly quite nicely. It's like flying a little light aircraft. Doesn't fly like the Dash 8 at all in X-Plane, but. And I know Dash pilots like that, but we said that several times before. Would I recommend it? Yes. It's 10 quid with discount if you've got the full version of Flight Sim, and then it'll be up to, I think it's £16.74 full price. I mean, it's a steal at that. I think it is, and it is so much better than sort of like a stock aircraft. So you've got everything you've got in there. So yeah, you know, enjoy it. It's released. There'll be bugs, no doubt, being poured in to a developer to get this fixed in time, and hopefully that it'll be kept up to date with lots of updates. So I can thoroughly recommend it if you want to purchase it as well. Yeah, Alan Jensen, maybe it doesn't like doing turnarounds. I've had add-ons in the past that have just gone really weird after turnarounds, and you know, for example, if Ford was on approach, and it could have been linked to that. So maybe if he could do like the real aircraft does, an FMC reset after landing, that will help fix some of the issues, maybe with VNAV, but who knows. Anyway, that's it for today. I did remember to turn on the flight recorder, so we'll look at a replay from the view of a passenger. But yeah, gets the seal of approval for me, and I hope you enjoyed me flying it today. Right, let's jump on into the cockpit. I will now go to a panel state to load that up. I'll go for ready for taxi. And this will just configure the aeroplane. I'll just get the flaps out, get the engine started, and then it'll be nice for the replay for you guys. Just give it a couple of seconds to sort itself out. Hear them spooling up. Sounds are pretty good. I like the sounds. I just wish they were a little bit louder externally. And I've got my external sounds turned up. Alex Peagle. It doesn't like to slow down. I used to reduce the flight idle 15 miles from the runway. That's not what everyone else has said, even ATR pilot. I should think if you went to flight idle 15 miles away, you'd have to add power. You wouldn't get all the way down without having to add power. Certainly not at 7.3 anyway. But I don't doubt you. Maybe it is the way it should be. Who knows? I'm looking for feedback. Any feedback in the comment section would be appreciated with the aircraft. Right, I think that's all done. Let's do this here. Let's do that. That should be good. Why is that not working? Replay. Oh yes, we've got the wrong replay music though. That one I want. Excellent. What I'll do is turn that down before I deafen everyone. Let me just pause that here and have a look at the landing. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how accurate the speed is. So let's ignore that. So just to show you what I was playing around here in the flare, look, we're doing 107 knots, which is our approach speed. It's been a little bit low there, 5 knots. But then I flared, and I just wanted to see how slow I could go, and it just flew. So this was on purpose. Look, I pitched up. I'd expect it to stall. It just went straight up in the air again. And I could still flare. You know, I'm 15 knots below the speed here, and I'm still able to fly. Like, you'd be stalling. You'd be stalling. Let's have a look at what it looks like from outside. So remember, before you all start commenting, I did that on purpose. So there was a flare, and I just went to pitch up quite aggressively just to see what happened, but it just kept on flying. And we're now 15, sort of falling to 15 knots below VREF here. Sort of still able to fly the aeroplane. See how close it was to the tail strike. Oof, pretty close. I mean, I'd expect it to sort of fall very, very rapidly there. On purpose as always, absolutely. Are the approach speeds given correct? They were, well, the quoted ones there. Anyway, what we'll do, I'll pop you into this window here. Don't do what I did there if you ever find yourself flying an ATR as well. Let's go from there. That's an awesome view. Alright, sorry, I just read something there. Right then guys, yeah, that's it for today. As I said just then, I do thoroughly recommend this aircraft. It's a tenner, 15 quid after the sale here. No doubt it'll improve there. Who knows? I've got opposing comments here about how it flew on approach. Some people are saying no, it should be idle. You can go completely idle all the way down the ILS. I just don't buy that. I find that very, very surprising. Now, I'll have a look at some ATR videos there. Some people are saying no, you do need a lot of power. Leave it in the comments section. Have a little bit of feedback on that, because I don't fly the aeroplane, so what I could be saying the whole time is rubbish, and it's perfectly modelled. But we obviously had some issues there on the second sector. But as I said, I really do enjoy it. I'll fly it again probably next stream. I'll look on for a VATSIM event and take it online. We'll just do the one sector, so we don't have any perhaps multiple sector issues. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it. It helps out a lot as well. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest content as well. Look after yourselves and fly safe in real world or virtually. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye for now.